All right, guys. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Let's see if we can get everybody back in here now. All right, guys. We definitely have hiccups, but it's okay. We will prevail through it. We will always prevail through it. But now we have to go back to Facebook, and we have to get everybody back in here. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much if you're just joining us back. Wow, it's tough. I'm going to have to learn how to rejoin a broadcast rather than going right back out and having to start a whole new broadcast. That was tough. That's tough. But we're going to keep on keeping on, guys. Why? Because we have to. It's something that we absolutely have to do. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodness. That stinks, guys. But, hey, we're going to prevail through it. We were killing it, guys. We had so many people in here all at once. You guys were, oh my gosh, you're already flying back in here. I can't ask you guys for enough. I can't ask you guys for anything at all. You're giving me everything I would ever want. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Glad you're back. Goodness. Reposting your question? Yeah, go for it, brother. Absolutely, go for it. Sorry. Stream cut out. Join here, guys. Join here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. If anybody is in in the Robinhood stock market watch list, if you're from any one of those groups, if you could post this new stream up in there for me, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate your help. That'll help get this stream back up and running and going, baby. We already got 5 of you back in here. Good afternoon, good morning, all that good stuff. We're going to have hiccups in the stream, guys, and I'm glad we got it within the first 30 minutes, so that way we can at least blow ourselves out of the water with an even better stream. So let's get this thing a rocking and a rolling. So let me go back in here and make sure we got everybody taken care of. Let's put this stream cut out, made new. Come see us. All right, so we're gonna see if we can get everybody back in here, baby. Let's see if we can do this. All right. I don't want to be too distracted, so I think that we are back up and running, and I'm not going to worry about a thing, guys. You know? I think I spent like 30 minutes before stream even starts just trying to get my name out there. So then when it cuts out and you got to make a whole new one, it's like, you lose all of that. You lose all of it. But it's A-okay. That's fine. We're always going to have hiccups in our streams, and that's just one little thing that you're going to have to watch me live prevail through, right? And that's part of me being put on blast here. So let's make sure we stick with the community. Everybody that's already back here, we're going to go through your comments right now, guys. So thank you so much. It's amazing that we already got 70 back from the chat. So here we go. Amir even says, here we go. So here we go. Because if we weren't going, we'd be stopping. And we don't stop, baby. All right. B. Stewie's back, baby. Yeah, Caesar here again. Disconnected. Caesar, if you could do me a huge favor, you don't have to, but just go back into the Robinhood watch list where you found it before and repost this stream, this new one here, if you can. If you don't have time, hey, if you got me in the background, that's A-okay too. We're going to be going through everybody's things right now. So VRAX for Caesar. Let's go for VRAX. Oh, goodness gracious. So if we look at VRX, let's just look at the daily before we do anything. And we're going to mark out its liquidity pools here. So we got one at 89 cents and one at 96 cents here. And this thing is flying even higher. Let's look back a little further. $1.22. And it looks like here. So let's take a look. I'm not seeing much else. So right now we have VRAX breaking out and breaking through its liquidity pools. Its next stop for me for a short would be in this $2.50 area. So VRAX, you obviously need to be careful, guys, because if we zoom out on the daily, you can see since this thing IPO'd, it's been doing nothing but popping and failing. There's a huge correlation with that. Lots of pops, lots of fails. So if you're speculating in this stock, just keep that in mind. The history of this stock will pop and it will drop. It will pop and it will drop. So it's okay, guys, if you're looking for something on this might be a short, but for me, the short is not until the 250 area. For right now, this is kind of just hanging out in an area where there's nothing going on. So if we start seeing a lot of these wicks up here, and then maybe during the market open, when the market opens, this thing might pop back up into its wicks, and this might be a good area to short. Now, I'm not saying to short now. Pre-market is scary, especially on these type of stocks, so be careful with VRAX. But I tell you, I do definitely like VRAX. I like this little pop. So let's see, reposting my question. Yeah, so let's see, it's Tajmi, oh, I want to be able to say it right. Tashima. Did I say it right? Tashima? I am fairly new and still trying to understand how to create my watch list. Do you have any advice for something I can look into? Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the best ways to get your tickers are from me. Hello. I'm only kidding. We want to teach everybody to be very independent here. But where I do get a lot of my tickers will be on my gap up scanner. And you can have this gap up scanner. I can probably find a way to actually just send it to you. Maybe I could do that. Maybe we could find a way to send this to you in the Discord. Maybe I can export this somehow, and we'll get you in the Discord. How about that? We'll get you in the Discord, and I'll be able to send this watch list right over to you. But you can get gap up scanner watch list, which will take the highest volume and the lowest floats that are out there, so you can see what really moves the fastest. But also, if you're looking at something that's liquid, easy to trade, look at all your bigger stocks like your Teslas, your Amazons. They don't move, well, your Teslas move fast, but if you look at the bigger stocks, those are easier to trade because you can see the levels, and they don't move as fast for you. They move a little bit slower, so that way, you don't have to worry so much about losing a lot of money fast. So keep that in mind. I gotta send Mikey this new one. Stream broke, new one. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull up that Discord for you, so that way we can take care of this a little later, and I don't have to figure all this out now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this, and I will send you our Discord right on over. Give me 1 second. So the Discord is gonna be in the chat, guys. We won't ever ask if you have any money or anything, okay? I only ask of 3 things. Okay, that's show up for pre-market prep like you are doing here today. We got plenty of time, well before 9:30. And then I also would like a like and a subscribe, but only if you like the content, only if I'm being entertaining. So let's keep on keeping on. Let's see, as everyone in the party is about to begin. That's right, party's about to begin, baby. VRAX review, please, and thanks, Captain. Captain, oh my Captain. So let's take a look at VRAX. Goodness, didn't we just we are looking at VRAX. You can tell I need some coffee, don't you? Well, let's just take one more peeky look though, since everybody's watching VRAX. What we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna keep an eye on it right where it lays. So right here, it's above VWAP. I'm expecting a pullback and then a pop before it drops because there's not much holding this thing up. But on the same hand, I could be violently wrong, and this thing could really, really squeeze a lot higher. It's already busted through 2 liquidity areas, 3 liquidity areas that I've pointed out to you. So if it wants to be a kind gentleman and be a runner, then we're going to want to see this thing shape up and trade sideways for a while. Okay, guys, if you guys want another multi-day runner like TRKA, we're going to have to see this thing create some levels so more people will join in. Because if it just goes straight up, nobody's going to want to join into this thing. So that's what my take is on VRAX for the second time. Now we got double on that. Pre-market, baby. You got it, Caesar. Thank you, Caesar. I do appreciate you going and doing that for me. All the help is grateful, guys. All the help is, I'm just very, very grateful for. So let's see, Amiri up 1.56 pre-market. Oh yeah, VRAX, yeah, it's looking very, very juicy right now, but it being at its highs, we need to see these levels. We can't just buy in at these tops. That's where you lose the most money. B. Stewie says, my question before the blackout is it a good time to short Snap? Well, let's take a look at Snap. If we take a look at Snap over here on this right-hand side, well, B. Stewie, I tell you, this is a very interesting spot because look at where I marked this out. So we mark this out. What are we marking out? What are we marking out? What is this? So let's move out to the hourly and see if we can get a better understanding of where this mark's coming from. All right, so look. This is just like that wick off head and shoulders pattern I was just telling you about, right? So you have this push, and then you get a breakthrough that doesn't hold. It breaks down. Now look, it's tapped its head 1. We'll call that 2, 3 times in this area, and now we have this push up to this high, right? Push right up to this high, and snap, and look what happens. It's having a hard time chewing through that area, right? So I would expect this to probably have a pullback in this area or hiccup or stutter, but if this wants to, this might reclaim this area, trade sideways, and then take off higher. So B. Stewie, to answer your question, I really don't know. I can't give that kind of advice, but it does look like an area of supply, right? Because if we look back here, it's hit, it's hit, it's hit, it's hit. So this does look like an area of supply, but we need to give this a little bit more time. If it is a short, you need to know what your risk is. So right now, your risk would end up being this 1158, right? Because what else are you going to go off of? So that's pretty far from well, that would be a long. But your short would have to be this 1217, right? So just understand if that is a short, if it does look like a short for you, make sure that you are happy with what you're risking. Okay, be happy with what you're risking. Maybe even in the morning we might get a pop, and then you can get your risk might be a little bit closer to what you want it to be. Okay, so we do have that liquidity area just up overhead. We do have a tall tail showing that is supply and that it is acting as. But also remember, for a longer term short, you do have support here, and you have support down here at 10. So that is my take on SNAP. So let's see what else we got. How high do you honestly think TRKA can reach? When should we take profits? El Grande Smokio asks, what is my real thoughts on how high can TRKA can go? Well, here's the thing. It really can go extremely higher. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because the only information I have is the fact that the squeezers haven't been squeezed yet. Right? If we look up TRKA on my free version of short squeeze, we're still seeing a 36% short flow. Okay? We're not seeing an increase or a decrease. So the same people that they're trying to squeeze, or whoever's trying to squeeze, hasn't been squeezed. So if TRKA hasn't been squeezed yet, well, it can go higher. But how high? I don't know. I would need a crystal ball for that. I don't have a crystal ball right now. Maybe one day I might be able to conjure something out of thin air, but until that time comes, we're going to have a hard time trying to justify any real level on TRKA on how high this thing can go. But with 36% short interest, it has the ability to go higher, okay? It has the ability to go higher. So if you took this 50 cent area and you're still holding out onto this, and this is a very big deal to you, the amount that you have earned on TRKA, simple enough. All you need to do is take some profit. Take some profit, know where your risk is, and then we can keep extrapolating that money, okay? Let's keep on keeping on. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, how high? Yep, very close. Would love that. Good. Right there's the Discord. Tashima. I'm going to get better with those. SSim's here. Good morning, SSim. Good morning. I'm glad you can make it, SSim. I hope that broadcast didn't get too messed up, but I'm glad to see that you're in here. You're absolutely welcome, Tashima. Let's see. 12 years old and fat. Just came back in from a cigarette break and says, technical difficulties or shorts taking you down. Right? Yeah, like I'm trying to long something hard, and then the shorts just come in. I'm like, bah! End the stream. Yeah, no, if you guys ever see me get into a sweat, you're going to be able to watch it. You'll see me get real quiet. You'll see me get real focused. But I will also explain to you how I'm feeling through all of it, because we know trading's hard, guys. We absolutely know trading's hard, and that's why I'm doing this here for you. I'm putting myself on blast. I'm doing what I need to do to get it done, because if I wasn't, well, I'd be sitting on my butt getting fat instead, right? So let's see what else we got. B. Stewie. Stu Clot. We got B. Stewie standing on top of Stu Clot right now. Gotcha, thanks, and good morning, homie. Good morning, Stu Clot. It's awesome to see you in here. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, that last broadcast tried to hold us down. It tried to hold us down. It tried to hold us back. But we got an awesome crew in here. Caesar's already went back and reposted that information in the new chats. And we're going to have ourselves a good time, guys. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you like the commentary, the live trading, or my big old chin just shaking around on the stream, then just go ahead and hit that subscribe, because, baby, we're doing it. We're doing it because we want to get it done. So I'm going to run through what I want, guys, and you can go ahead and put what you want in the chat. Once I'm done going through the indices and trying to get a better idea of what's going on, then I will take a look at chat and we'll see what you guys want me to react to, okay? So TRKA is at 86 cents currently right now, trying to find itself a happy home, find itself a medium that it might be able to trade in. And now Snap has gotten my attention with B2E talking about that looking like a short. And it does look like a short, but we also won't really be able to tell what's going on until the indices start. But do keep in mind, I've already talked about it once, guys. We have Papa Powell talking some crap today to Congress, actually, to Congress. So he's going to be chit-chattering to Congress, and he is going to see exactly, he's going to have to answer some really tough questions. And tough questions and Papa Powell being talked about the economy and all that good stuff is really going to have a little stutter step here in the market. We're going to see some kind of violent volatility in these areas, guys. We will. We're going to see things move. I don't know if they're going to move up or they're going to move down, but we will hear and see them right here on LoFiTrader, baby. We're going to see everything happen right here. Look at that Amazon getting soaked up right there on the 1 hour. That's a good sign for Amazon, guys. You know I like those big wicks. Now, those big wicks, like this one right here, these big wicks, they can still sell off. But I like to at least see some activity happening in its demand area. We had a big sell-off yesterday, like we've seen a big sell-off in a lot of the things, but we can understand that these wicks sometimes can give us a little inclination of what's going to happen in the overall market. As Meta is trading back up at those highs, goodness gracious, me trying to short Meta yesterday was tough. I took a small $20, $25 loss, I believe, on Meta yesterday trying to short these, and then after stream, I fought back. I took a few more shorts on this when it popped back up into the VWAP area and made a little bit of that back, but now, the overall picture, my original plan on this trade, guys, was to short this down to 180, okay? That was my game plan. Now, it didn't work out as planned because we had a bigger expected push than I anticipated in the morning, and it ended up stopping me out. Now, my original plan was to use this high. I oversized into it, and it stopped me out a little too soon. So that is my honest, transparent trade of yesterday for Meta. Now, back up into the highs. Glad I didn't hold, or things could have gotten a lot more rough for me this morning. And that's why we have stop losses, guys, and that's why we need to follow those trades. So if I see a losing trade, I'm not a loser. I'm going to learn from this trade. So next time, I don't outsize myself, and I can use the high of day to hold for a bigger expected move. So let's see what else we got going on here. Good morning, Jim Dickey. It is good to see you, brother. Norman Conklin, you're very welcome, Norman. I don't know what I did for you, but you're very, very welcome. Or maybe you're somebody else to answer your question. So, all right, man, I'll wait until Gypsy Witch gives you a crystal ball. El Grande Smokio, if you know a Gypsy Witch and she has a crystal ball that we could borrow for the stream, we can all get rich really, really quick. We just need to know what's going to happen for one day, and we can go all in if we have the equity to do it. So, absolutely, El Grande Smokio. Tajmia, yep, that was it. Good. I'm glad we can be here to help. Check NVOS. Yes, we'll take a look at NVOS in just a minute. We will put NVOS right here. And then we'll carry on with what, whoa, NVOS. Okay, so NVOS is trading at 17 cents, guys. It's up already from yesterday, from its base of, we're trading 76% off of that base from yesterday. So pre-market, it's got an even bigger push in NVOS. So I'm gonna throw up NVOS on this base here, but just like the others, we're gonna need some more time for this to play out because it is getting pretty choppy up here. If you take a look at NVOS, it's chopping around A lot of times you want to see, you know, something form where we can take a risk, and it started to look like maybe something was forming here, but when it rips down, well, that's pre-market for you. So we need some time on this to play out. I'd rather see me be able to take a risk somewhere if we're looking for a long on this, a risk. We need to find a risk in aftermarket or during market hours. We need to find a base on that. So we're seeing a lot of volatility come in here. It looks like yesterday we had over 130 million shares traded on that. So let's just look this up. NVOS, and we've done this before, guys. It's a 12 million stock is what I'm getting on this float checker right here, guys. It's floatchecker.com. It's free. You can look anything up you want to yourself, or you can just put it in chat and you know I'll do it for you. I'm happy to do it for you. So NVOS, we have 12.5 million shares. We're ranging from 100 to 12 million. So anywhere in between there, we'll just call it a 50 million stock. But regardless, if this thing wants to continue trading that kind of volatility, that kind of volume, then we might see this thing have a nice expected move in the future. So keep that in mind, guys. This thing is a low float, or it could be considered a low float, but across the board, we're getting mixed signals on the float. So we need to be extra careful with this. And it's integrated science. I can almost imagine if we look this thing up, what it would be. So NVOS, let me just read about it, okay? Wow, it looks like they had, it looks like they are creating some earnings on this. Let me just read about this. NOVO, Integrated Science. So it's Novo, but the ticker is NVOS. But NOVO, Integrated Science, is a corporation that engages in the provisions of medical science. The firm offers specialized philotherapy, wow, that's a new word for me, physiotherapy, chiropractic care, occupational therapy, elder care, laser therapeutics, massage therapy, acupuncture, neurological functions. Wow, there's a lot here, but as you can tell, this is a healthcare service stock specializing in medical and nursing services. So these things have been on fire lately, guys. These therapeutic, biopharmaceutical, medical, anything in that area has been absolutely on fire. Yeah, hey, finally made it to the house. John Shields, it is good to see you. I'm glad you're in here, buddy. I hope it wasn't too hard for you to find the stream. Let me know, was it hard for you, John, to find the stream, find the broadcast? Because we got taken down, but we were popped right back in, and I'm just curious how hard it is for everybody to actually find this stream. So let's see, Papa Powell speaks at 10, so take this into account. Absolutely, Mikey. We were actually just talking about that right before you popped in. Could be a huge liquidity event. Actually, that's exactly what we were saying, Mikey. I appreciate you popping in here, making sure you're keeping us safe today. Yeah, Mikey, if you guys haven't heard, guys, Papa Powell, good old Papa Powell, will be talking today, and he will be bringing in a lot of liquidity in the markets. If you don't know, that is the Fed, okay? The Fed, that he creates the interest rates. He's the one that'll turn on the money printer if he thinks it's needed. He's the one that'll raise the interest rates if he thinks inflation's too high. So with CPI index coming out on the 14th, payroll index coming out on the 10th, and the FOMC meeting coming out on the 22nd, all eyes are going to be on old Papa Powell to see if this is going to be where he is going to put his foot down and raise hikes even more, or if he's going to act a little dovish and say, yeah, the economy's looking great, the market's looking great. If he starts acting dovish, acting like everything's a-okay and it looks very psychologically positive in the economy, you're going to see a huge expectancy to the north side. If you see him hawkish, if his papers are ruffled, if his collar's a little messed up, they do all of this. This is no joke, guys. Look into the psychology behind these speakings and stuff. It's very, very interesting, and that's what we look at when we're looking at charting, guys. We're looking at the psychology. Every one of these ticks is either a person making that tick, an institution making that tick, or a program that was made by a human making that tick. So if you see these, this is all just psychological warfare at just right in front of you, right here on the chart. It's at its prime right here, guys, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. I love to see it, and that's why I get so passionate about this, guys, because there's big opportunities out here in the market. Every single day we can extrapolate money from the market if you can just identify the levels, keep a calm, cool head, and make the right choices each and every day. Back test those, start with a risk. You guys will be just fine. So let me make sure I'm caught up on chat. Yeah, John, I'm glad you're here. Let's see, want to look at WW. Yeah, we can do that. No problem finding string. Good. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. So let's look at WW on the right-hand side. So this was an earnings gap up. We're up here at 23% on the earnings gap up. All right. This earnings gap up is looking okay. Let's see where it lands. It reached a high of this area of $4.75. All right, and if you guys look at this overall stock, it just looks garbage boo-boo, right? Ever since it's came out, it's never reached its max high. This thing's been trading down, and then it trades sideways. Once it broke its low, this thing just headed lower and lower and lower, okay? Anything below that 200-day moving average, I don't really care for. This thing just popped up, you know, and I'm not seeing like a really heavy liquidity area except for like way back here, you know, which doesn't really count in this time frame. So if this thing popped up in this area with nothing to really, you know, take it out, nothing really to take it long, I would just be really weary of this, guys. I went through actually all the earnings stocks this morning, and I'm really not seeing anything I like. Either nothing's holding its gains, or it's just, you know, it's just a garbage stock that I don't really care for. Now this is a therapeutic stock too, you know, which is another one that I don't really care to look at. But this one looks like it's at least gapped up over its sideways action. So this might actually be interesting. This FSTX, this looks interesting. I wonder what the float is on that FSTX. We will look at UNCY here in just a second. So just back to WW, I don't really care for this gap up. Of course, I love to see things gapping up because there's always usually trades on it, but I can't get a reading on this. I just see, you know, maybe a little bit of liquidity here and a little bit overhead, and then it's 200-day moving average. So I think overall this is going to be a bearish sentiment. But if you're looking for an earnings gap up today, there's not a lot of them that I really care for. But thank you for bringing that up, B. Stewie. Let's take a look at UNCY. So we'll bring up UNCY on this right-hand side. Guys, we have 30 minutes till market open. Good morning. Absolutely happy you guys are here. Let me take a quick sip. Yeah, we'll look at BFRG in just a second here. So UNCY, we had a gap up yesterday, and it held that gap up. Look at that, a beautiful hold on this gap up. This is what I like about these gap ups, and this is why I told you the first few that we looked at that we need to watch it. We need to see what's going to happen with this, because when things start getting all wonky up here, you can't take risk. But if you look at this, look how nice that looks, guys. It broke its area, reclaimed it, pushed higher, and then when it came back down, it kept getting soaked up, and now it traded sideways. We're in the 5-minute here right now, guys, and down here is the daily. And if you look at this, now, of course, it's a therapeutic stock. Therapeutics are going absolute nutso. Biostocks, therapeutics, all that good stuff, they are going nuts, okay? FSTX, I know I'm bouncing back and forth, but this is the only gap up. This is the only gap up. Now, this isn't a gap up on earners. This is just a gap up. I want to look into FSTX once we get done with UNCY, guys, because FSTX looks like this might actually be a very interesting one for today. So FSTX might be one to really keep an eye on. We'll come back to that in just a second. So UNCY, guys, UNCY. It looks like we have support at this $1.25 area. So if you're looking at UNCY for a bullish sentiment, I would say you have defined your risk here. You have the line drawn in the sand, so that way you can understand at market open where you might want to get in, where you might want to risk to the north side. But to the south side, let's take a little peeky gander back here. And I'm not really seeing huge pools of liquidity except for maybe around its initial IPO up here. I'm seeing some heavier activity of liquidity. Now look, if we look at the overall where that sits, I mean, it's nowhere near where we're at right now. So it looks like, you know, this thing, I'm not seeing it running into anything. I'm seeing it hold its push. So UNCY is looking really good. It's shaping up really, really well, guys. And, you know, I like it. I like it. Of course, I don't like it that it's a therapeutic stock, but, you know, it is what it is. That seems to be what we're moving. Now, remember, guys, this is an 8.8% float. So this is a rip your face off, lose your socks, smack your grandma stock. This is no good, guys. Like this, you need to be careful. Just be careful. Know your risk. Know that these things can just gap down on you very hard, very fast. And it can be very scary, especially if you're not if you're not used to it. So before I catch up with chat, let me just bring up FX, that is going to be a tongue twister. Red leather, yellow leather, FSTX. We're going to take a look at now. Guys, this is a 21 mil float. 21 million float. This thing has now gapped up 15.9%. Okay, it does have earnings on the 16th, it looks like. Is it the 16th? It's not letting me see. 1 second. It's on the 14th, guys. So we have earnings on the 14th, meaning if you're going to get into this trade, you're going to want to be out of this before earnings because you never know what's going to happen. I consider that a lotto trade. And a lotto is a no-no to me, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, UNCY. We went through UNCY. UNC what's the feedback? UNCY, BFRG. Yeah, we're going to go through BFRG here in just a second, but I need to get through this FSTX, guys. So, FSTX trading at its highs at 708. 708 FSTX right now, guys, and it's looking really good. Just because, and why I say why is it looking really good? Because it's gapped up over all of this on its daily. See this huge gap up over all of this? So now I want to see this thing trade sideways, try and catch, try and hold out, you know, show me an area that I can risk off of. It's a $7 area, looks pretty good, but I don't want to take this in pre-market. You know, I don't want to take this in pre-market. So we're definitely going to keep this. This is definitely on the watch list on FSTX. So, Mikey, I know that you're looking for that short in UNCY as well as VRAX. I think we went over VRAX this morning. Let's bring up VRAX over here. So VRAX. It looks like it's just trying to create that top. And we look back on this, it's nowhere near its bout of liquidity up here yet. But if it can create an area to short into, like if it comes, we were talking about it this morning, if it breaks down here and we can get a little pop up into this area, that's where Mikey likes to short. That's where he's going to look to short it. If this thing can, let's say it does pop and it trades sideways and it doesn't break this area of liquidity of $1.40 or $1.30, heck, you could even hold this $1.25 area. This thing could still shape up for a move higher, so keep an eye on that. But UNCY is looking strong down here at this $1.25. I do like UNCY trying to hold that $1.25. So let's look at GNS on this left-hand side here. And BFRG. There we go. So guys, we brought up I think Caesar brought up BFRG back here when we had this gap up. If you guys remember, we seen this big gap up on BFRG, and I talked to you guys. I said, hey, look, there's nothing here to short. There's nothing, no liquidity back here to try and make this a short for myself. But I said, you know, this being an AI stock, you know, we need to see it shape up and show us some proof of concept. So we had a big push up in liquidity here in pre-market. It came back down and I said it needed to trade sideways. Well, look what it's doing, guys. It's actually showing that it wants to be alive. AI wants to be alive. So BFRG does look like it is shaping up. It looks like this is something that might show proof of concept. Now, personally, I might need another day or two. It does look like the liquidity is starting to fizzle out that second day, which is A-okay as long as it can hold these areas. So we need BFRG, Bullfrog AI Holdings, to hold this area. So let's see. I want to short VRAX near 2 and UNCY near 2. So VRAX, he's looking around that $2 to short. Probably using that as a psychological area as well as the overhead liquidity as well. So I can totally understand that, Mikey. That's nice. I don't see the areas nearly as well as you do, but I get where you're coming from. Let's go ahead and take a look at the indices while we're right here, because the SPY is pulling back in that area that we talked about. This is the supply area. We could pull it all the way past here, guys, but I think you guys understand, right? this is where the liquidity area is. This is where we want to hang out. If it breaks down from here, we'll probably head lower till we find a new liquidity area down below, okay? So right now, we're just in a rough patch. We want to see if this thing can hold. With Papa Powell talking today, be very, very careful with your longs, and maybe take a look at the short side, guys. These aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just a big talking head with a big heavy chin on here. Sometimes it hurts, so I sip on coffee to make sure we keep on keeping on, ladies and gentlemen. So, I get a lot of messages on the phone. Let's see. We got to catch up on the phone as well. I got to explain to you guys. The wife just sent me, no matter what hiccups, just know I love you and I'm thinking of you right now. That is awesome. My beautiful Carly Ray is still looking out for me because she knows sometimes it hurts when these streams go down because I go through so much to get everything set up so it's perfect, so I get the most amount of people, the most amount of views, right? We want that for our streams to help signify that we're carrying on, right? So when we get these little hiccups, she knows they hurt, but we got to keep on keeping on. And she messaged me just to let me know that she's still here thinking about me and that she loves me. And that's the support I need, guys. That's why we're creating this awesome community, because I want like-minded people, like-minded investors, and I want everybody to be positive while you're in here, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through these indices. We're going to take a better look at what is exactly going on, because we got things going up, we got things going down, and we need to take a look at my trades to see if they are still printing me money. So Roblox, let's see, we made about $35 off of Roblox. We're up about $13 on Roblox this morning. We are expecting, at least I'm expecting, you are not expecting, these are my thoughts, not yours, that this is going to head lower. Now, I'm also expecting a little pop in Roblox. These things don't go straight down, but if it wants to go straight down, that's a-okay with me. You can come on down to the ground. I don't mind at all. So we have XM. So with the overall market looking like doo-doo right now, and I say doo-doo because I'm only talking about, I'm still expecting a pullback in SPY. If it can hold out and wants to head higher, you know I'm a bear with bullhorns. I want to see the market go sky high, baby, because we have 401ks, we have retirements, we have Roth IRAs, and we want to see those things go up to the moon. But in the meantime, when we look at supply and demand, it does look like a better, healthy pullback can be coming to the SPY. And if you have any money in the S&P 500, you understand that the other indices, the other markets, the other stocks, they usually follow that. But XM is the outlier. XM, while the market was being pulled down, XM gapped up on earnings, showed that it was a leader, held its gap, held all of these gains it held, and now it's trying to break out to the north side. It tried this yesterday. As it came back down, we got half out just because I don't want to make a loser out of a potential winner. So we got half out, and now we're up an easy $7.40 on this stock. So we're going to see how this wants to play out for us today. We're looking for an overall pullback in the market. I'm still long in XM, knowing that it can shine through a dirty sell-off in the market. So CLMT. Now I am in CLMT. I'm in one single share of CLMT because I want to see this work out. Now these cup and handles I've been getting beat up on. It's not the market for cup and handles, but I want to see this to fruition. So I've noticed a lot of my cup and handles, half of them will work out, half of them will not, but I will be out of all of them before they actually take off. So I need to keep a closer eye. So what do I do to keep a closer eye? I invest a little money. I invested one share. So now I'm probably down a whole $1.50 of this stock. No, I'm down 50 cents on this stock. This 50 cents is what I'm using to track this stock. 50 cents might not mean much to you, but it is 50 cents to me. I am going to use that 50 cents to keep an eye on it. All right. My wife might give me crap because I'm saying 50 cents means something to me, but I went to Aldi's the other day and I let that quarter sit. I didn't take that quarter back out. Maybe I should have. Now I'm feeling kind of bad. So if we look at GNS on this left-hand side here, it looks like it's doing very, very well, trying to hold this gap up. But keep in mind, there is a ton of overhead liquidity right here in this area. So let me just draw this line right here for you so you guys have a better understanding. Yeah, so this right here is its highest liquidity area. And you can see it came right up and almost touched that. 475 almost on the dot, guys. Almost on the dot. And it's pulling back. Now, if this thing wants to trade sideways and then keep on heading higher after that, That's a-okay. You know, we can identify some risk here now and where our last and final stand is, but we have to keep in mind this thing had its push, it's already done its bidding, and now we have a lot of overhead liquidity that it needs to fight through. So this thing's really going to have to prove to me, and how is that going to prove? Sideways action. If we get sideways action, then we'll have better proof of concept. That way we can take this thing higher. On the other note, bull with bare horns, right? Bull with bare horns. Oh my goodness. I need more coffee already. Can you tell? If I'm going to be the bear with bull horns, to me, for the long run, sideways action to the north side, but for the short time, this thing looks like it might eat through this liquidity area and head on lower. So we'll keep an eye on GNS to see what it wants to do. Now, nobody has brought up KALA, which is interesting to me because KALA is bouncing off that bottom pretty high there, and it looks pretty good. So keep an eye on KALA, but let's go ahead and catch up. I just dumped VRAX. VRAX. It seems like opening time, a lot of selling will happen. Yeah, you know, I would be careful in anything in pre-market, guys. When I look at stocks, I'm kind of just trying to get an idea in pre-market of what's going on. So we could use TRKA as an example. So like we're looking at in pre-market, like what's happening, what's going on. And we even said, you know, earlier this morning, it looks like it's actually trying to show that it wants to hold. You know, well, you could use 86 if you wanted to, but even then, I don't like pre-market. Now we talked about this back here because we had a high here that it held, and it came down, and in pre-market it held that, and it came down, it tested again in pre-market, and then look, it pushed up and it came down and tested again and again. Now you could have taken this during the day. You could have taken this right here using that as your risk, just as we talked about, or the very next day. The very next day you could use this as your risk in aftermarket if you wanted to. So that's okay because we already have that predetermined risk. But when you get up in here, and like we talked about yesterday, guys, it was in its liquidity area. And I've pulled out these liquidity areas for you time and time again, and you see a lot of sell-off. So I cannot find a risk in this because this is not a good look for me. So this was the trade. This was keeping an eye on it. And now, again, this is keeping an eye on it until it can show me a better risk to reward. I mean, because you could still get into this thing. You could. But right now, it's not looking too good because I don't have good risk reward. So keep that in mind, guys. When I see pre-market, I try not to play in pre-market. I try not to play in aftermarket just because it is so manipulated. It can be pushed so much in one way rather than the other. So now, I do want to point out on SPY, just while we're right here, if we look at the 5-minute, just we have an understanding that we are fighting this 404 area. So we could see a bounce to the north side from this 404 area, but if we start to break down from this 404 area, we could probably head a lot lower. And why do I say that? Well, because the past 3 days, we have had nothing but higher, guys. So now we've given back all of those gains from yesterday, and we're just lingering around like a stinky fart at 404. So things are looking good, guys. I do love this overall push in the SPY off that 200-day moving average that I was preaching about almost. It all happened, and it all worked out really well, and now we are trading even higher than I anticipated that push to be. And if we can hold out anywhere from here in the 200-day moving average, I'm going to be happy. So we're well above where I expected to be today, and I'm very, very happy with where the market's at. Now, TRKA giving a great push to the north side at 92 cents. It looks like its peak in pre-market was 96 cents. So at 92 cents, it wants to push. Can this thing go higher? Only time will tell. Now, guys, we have 15 minutes till market open. So I want to go through the chat. I think I'm caught up. I think I'm pretty caught up. Any dollar better than no dollar. Captain, make 150 on it. That's right. Amirian making money already in pre-market. Absolutely love it. Good job. And yes, any dollar is better than no dollar. That is so true. That is so true. So let's go ahead and look through the indices right quick because we haven't done it in a while. Now, the SPY trading at 404.41, just squatting down on that area we have talked about, running right into that liquidity from previous market, from weeks ago that we talked about. We talked about this 410. If it can get back up into that 410 area, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm talking about. I want to start talking about 410 again because 3 weeks ago we were there. We were having a good old time at 410 before we had a huge sell-off. Then we were having an even better time in the bear's den, baby. Okay, so bear with bull horns. You know I want to see it go up. SPY is sitting at 404.45. Watch out below. That might break. IWM's trading sideways this pre-market after a huge pullback. The overall pullback was worse than the S&P 500's yesterday, but overall, the IWM has been holding its gains well above that 200-day moving average, looking like the best indice that's out there right now. So let's take a look at Netflix. Can Netflix hold this 312, 313 area? If it can, it starts to break down that 310 area, we might see this thing go down to 300. Now, we aren't giving you buy or sell recommendations, but you do have to understand I'm drawing out everything for you so you can look at it, you can take your risk, you can find your reward. Now you guys can see I drew out this liquidity area right here. I said I wanted to take a long here, and I drew out this liquidity area this morning in pre-market to help show where this area would be running into. It ran right into this liquidity area, and look, it sold off way harder than I anticipated it. I expected to at least see a stutter step right here at 317, but it said, oh, no. You hold my juice box. We ain't doing no squeezers in today. So Microsoft at 257.16, just trading sideways, still holding much of its gains from its past 3 days from its supply at that 250 area. It got bought up and now is at 257.16 for Microsoft. Let's see, Amazidian is back down into that V-shaped bottom that we talked about at 93.95, looking like a pooper scooper still looking like a pooper scooper. So we're going to want to see Amazon. We need to be fanboys for Amazon just for now. So hopefully that supply can hold out because we want to see the overall market heading to the north side. Now we only got 10 more minutes, guys, so I need to stay focused up. If I miss something in chat, just give me a minute. New Vision, you're here? Oh, New Vision, I'm glad you're here. Okay, we got to go over AI for New Vision really quick, guys, just because I thought my boy New Vision was gone. I was so sad. I almost started crying. I was gonna message you, New Vision, say, where the heck are you, dude? So we got AI. It came right up into that biggest bout of liquidity up here at 28. We marked this out for you guys. You can see, look at this. It came up here, and anything that went higher than this area that I drew out for you. This isn't magic, guys. I did this yesterday. I drew this area out for you. And look, it touches once, sells off, breaks through, and then we see these hourly wicks. That's why I like these hourly wicks. They are very, very a determining factor. Now, will AI play out and continue to the south side? I don't know. But what I can say is this is going to be its final boss. If AI wants to head higher, let's see it hold this gap up. Let's see it hold this 25.25. Let's see it trade sideways and then get some liquidity in, break through on the high side, and head even higher. If not, if this thing wants to break and head lower, it will probably do it very, very fast. So please be careful with this stock because, goodness gracious, great balls of fire, there's a lot of eyes on it. So good morning. Good morning. Heiser's here. TRKA, absolutely, up there at 93 cents. We got 9 minutes in London on the track. Let's look at PBF for my boy B. Stewie. B. Stewie, yeah, it is trading at those highs. Now remember, we've been over this many, many times. We're going to get rid of this so it doesn't look as messy. We'll get rid of, well, we don't need to get rid of this. You can see I drew this for that push higher, like a breakout. It came back, retested that breakout area, and then has not looked back since. I love when it breaks out of an area and it comes back to test. When it comes back to test, those are some great trades, guys. Look, it's right here on the map for you. Here's its base. Here's its breakout. It touched its supply. It sold off. It made a nice tight range. It broke through that range, and it came back to go. It came back and it asked, "Is this a good price?" And it said, "Yes, this is a good price." 43.50 took off for PBF. It is a hot energy stock and is now trading near its highs. It came all the way up to its highs. It looked like it came all the way up to its highs 2 days ago. Touched that 48.63. Now is pulling back to show us that it wants to stay in this area. So if we look at the daily, these highs right here, okay, not to be confused with Heiser, these highs right here are going to be its final boss. Does this thing trade sideways and then push out higher? Well, I have an alert to let us know when that happens. So thanks for bringing that up, B. Stewie. Any stocks to watch for during market open? Well, I only got 7 minutes left till market open. So let me pour some coffee. I'm going to lower the desk too because my back is already doing me wonders. And then I I need to look over some stocks so I can understand what is going on. So, bringing this down, pouring some coffee, and guys, right before market open, we need to go through this quick deal. Guys, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Am I not? Goodness gracious, yes, I am. And I want you to be here with me. So if you can go ahead, do me a huge favor and go to, well, not you, I'll go to, so I can bring it up. So let's go ahead and bring this up. There's only going to be a few things I'll ever ask of you. It will never be for your money. It will only be for your time and your subscription. So guys, if you could just take a look at my screen really quick right here and you scroll down, there's this like button. Now, we had to restart the stream, so I know if you've already did it once, I do appreciate you hitting the like on the last stream, but hit the like on this stream too, guys, because that is what keeps me going. Guys, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, every single day, Monday through Friday. So listen. If you guys want some more of this, hit that subscription button. We are swelling in the masses, guys. We are growing an ever awesome community here, and I am very, very proud of it. So let me start a quick poll, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to be trading. So will we see a pullback in the, no, let's do a TRKA. Short or long? How about that? From right here, short, long. Now you don't have to be in the short or in the long. I just want to ask the community, if you were at this area right here at 0.92 cents, would you go short or would you go long? So go ahead and give me your vote, guys. We'll wait until we have 25 on there to see. The sooner the better. No cheating. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and let me look through the indices really quick. I might be getting a little bit quiet here, and that's for a reason. I want to make sure I have a better understanding. So the SPY is sitting right there on 404. That's a very interesting spot. That tells me I want to sit back, relax, and wait to see what the market's going to give me first thing this morning, because it might give us a break to one side or the other. Now, IWM is at 188.86, where Netflix is just trading right at that base low. That looks a little scary for Netflix. As to where Microsoft is trading at 256.63, it looks like it's curling down. We're going to see what that wants to bring. And as we talked about, Amazon is at that base, guys, at that base, and it looks like it's into that supply area. So I'm a fanboy for Amazon. Let's hope it can do its thing. Now, Meta, I tried to take a short yesterday on Meta, and with the overall market looking like it wants to pull back, I might have to take this trade again. So we're going to see what's going on with Meta first thing this morning on my end, not yours. These are my trades, not yours, guys, so please keep that in mind. I just know that we are in a very high area of liquidity here, and I know that if this thing wants to hold out long enough, it will probably be a terror to the north side. So we need to be extremely careful when we are trading anything, guys. Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia now is trading right there at that 235.75 area, and we need to see this thing hold out. Now it's coming back. So I tried to play the breakout yesterday, guys. As you remember, I played this breakout, and it was immediately, we were up like $8, and then it just pulled back with the rest of the market. Now, it didn't give back all those gains. It's still trading at its highs of this year, okay? So if it can hold out this 235 area, it's looking more like a long, but that would be long if the SPY's looking long, and that would be a short if the SPY's looking short. So still, we need time to figure out what's going on with the market. So Tesla, good old Uncle Tesla over here, now breaking down from that $200 area, and it looks like it's trading at 191.40. 191.40 even, guys. So I told you this was its supply. So if it does not hold its supply and it wants to head lower, I think, again, we can come at least down to this 180 to 175 area, this 180 to 170 area, really. And so be careful, guys. If you're long, you know, make sure you know your stops. Make sure you know what your risk is, okay? So we got 3 more minutes, guys. Let me run through this. Apple having a nice healthy pullback after that big push into its highs and its highest area of liquidity as well. So we got Google also pulling back from in its supply area. The Qs look like they broke above their supply, and now, they broke above their resistance, and now it should be acting as a supply in that 300 that $300 area. So we want to see if this 300 psychological area can hold up. If it can hold up, guys, that's going to be really nice for the Qs, but it's not looking the healthiest, sitting right there squatting on that 300 right now on that base. Boyle, I just wanted to bring up Boyle because it came right back down to this V-shaped bottom, and where it kind of, you know, came out of, it's coming back to test that area. So I do like Boyle just because it's very interesting with all this liquidity here, just a ton of it just coming in. So I don't know really what's going on with Boyle, but with these big gap downs, like you see, big gap down, and then you get, it comes right back over here in a big gap down. It does make me a little worried about it. Now we're seeing these wick offs on the bottom. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. So this might be something that I want to keep an eye on. So now we got a minute and 30 left, guys. Oh my goodness, where is my bell? Goodness gracious, guys. We got 16 of you in here. Guys, if you haven't, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I hope I got through everybody's. TRKA selling off in the market open is what. Little Pencil's here. Good morning, Little Pencil. I'm glad that you could make it, brother. Awesome, awesome. No, I will sing for you. Don't cry. Thank you, New Vision. You go ahead and sing for me, baby. You know I love it. Let me take a sip of coffee. And guys, I'm a little bit everywhere. I need to bring the SPY up on the right-hand side. Because I'm a little bamboozled, because I'm a little shaken up from the stream getting messed up, I'm going to sit back and relax. You let me know what's going on. I will keep an eye on it for you, okay? But if I see a trade, you better believe I'm going to take it. And thank you for everyone who hit that like for me that second time. Thank you guys so much. It's seriously greatly appreciated. So let me get a sip of this. Thank you, John. Thank you, Amire. El Grande, revenue increased. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Good for you. Oh wait, revenue increased over the comparative prior year of TRKA. That's crazy. Be careful with all the news because some of the news can be a little skewed, right? Because they can even use their diluted shares that they're pulling from the market. They're diluting their company, but they're acting like that is revenue increase. So you got to be careful of that. And we can always dig down deep into the fundamentals one day on a different video. But today we have market open in 1-0. It's time. The market's open. And right at market open, it looks like TRKA is trading at 93 cents. While the SPY has a little bit of a pullback here, trading at 404.36. So we're going to see what exactly is going to happen today. We're going to see if SPY wants to defend that 404.26 area. Well, TRK has a quick swipe down to that 88 cent area. We're going to see if it wants to hold now at 89 cents. What are you guys watching? What is going on? Let me take a look at my trade. It looks like XM is printing me some money. We're up $12.65 right now on the last half of that trade. We're going to see if that wants to hold out along with the rest of the SPY. Let me take a look at my Roblox trade. Now remember, guys, I am short Roblox. We took about $30, $40, somewhere around there out of the market yesterday on Roblox short. Right now, we are up about $12.88. We're going to need a little time to see what's going to happen with Roblox. Now let's take a look at Ford. If you guys remember, I shorted Ford with 100 shares short yesterday, and it looked like we had a little choppy action, but now we're finally starting to see it. So what are we up on Ford? About 20 bucks on Ford. It's looking nice for that trade. Now TRK wanting to chop around, heading down to that 88 first thing this morning, but now trading at 94 cents, looking absolutely scrumptious. You know that is one delicioso of a trade. We got ALGM still pulling back in CRUS, getting a nice little gap up at 103.16. I know you guys don't care about those, but I do. Now the SPY is back up at 404.30. We're going to see what it wants to do. Let's bring up Tesla here. Well, TRKA now trading up, breaking those highs at new highs of 98 cents and trading higher. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it here first. TRKA trading at new highs. Can we get some love? Oh yeah. Christine M, is it too late for TRKA? Well, if you're looking for a long, right now is not the time to long. Now, I could be absolutely wrong. This thing could go crazy to the high, but what I am saying is using risk in mind, Christine, you do not want to get in now. You want to wait to see for a healthy pullback like we explained in pre-market prep. Christina, you should be here for pre-market prep. We start every single Monday. Anyway, 50 cent was your risk down here at TRKA. 50 cents. That's where you should be in, and these are the areas where you should be taking money out. So Christine, please be very, very careful in these speculative stocks. TRAK is a very, very low float. Let's go ahead and, well, let me just make sure, because we've went through a bunch of them. It's a 50 million float roughly, so it is a small float, so be very, very careful. But TRKA is bouncing around at those highs, so be very careful. Tesla is breaking down from that area. Will it be able to hold this last area of 190 if Tesla's breaking down? And I take a look at the Qs, and sure enough, it looks like the Qs are starting to head lower here. They're trying to get a push at that 300. That's really trying to defend that 300. Well, TRKA, goodness gracious, what a push. It looks like RBLX is somehow giving me, look at this, guys. RBLX go ahead and shooting up to that north side. Goodness, you weren't expecting that. So what is going on in the market? We need to take a peeky gander. Never would I thought seeing that happen. Well, TRKA gets whipsawed right back to the ground. We need to bring up the SPY. The SPY is heading lower. Well, Roblox squeezes to the north side. It looks like I'm immediately down 26, or I'm sorry, for the day, $11.50, 12.92 since the open. Look at that push. You know what that tells me after a huge push like that, guys? I want to join the ask. I like that push. I like where Roblox just headed. Well, the overall market gives a nice little push. Is Roblox going to be able to hold that? We need to see. So if I can get me in short, I join the ask. I want to short this stock even more. And now we're in Roblox. 95 shares of Roblox right now. Short. So you're seeing it live here today. So we want to see this hit its liquidity, hit those lines, and then trade lower. But as we look, SPY now trading at 404.26. It tried to get that breakdown there though, and we did not see it. It's starting to get soaked up now on the 5-minute. So we're going to see how this wants to play out. So we are in 95 shares short in RBLX because it ran in to that resistance. When we see big pushes of liquidity like that, big pops in the morning, a lot of the times what I like to do is play the opposite route. So you need to be careful in these, guys. Don't take this trade. It is my trade, not yours. I'm just a big talking head looking at what's going on in the market. So the SPY trading at 404.34. Well, Roblox just kind of sits there right in that 41, 43 area. Now we're getting a pullback in the market on Roblox, and things are looking pretty good for the Roblox trade, but we're going to need plenty more time for this thing to play out. So let's go ahead and take a look at TRKA and see what's happening. A big pullback, Christina. Do you see that? That's why I don't want anybody in here buying at the highs, okay? Christina, if you would have bought here, you would have been down big and quick. So it looks like we're getting an even bigger push up in that Roblox. It looks like, do I want to hold on to this thing or should I start selling out? I think we're going to need a little bit more time to actually see what is bound to happen here. So keeping an eye on RBLX while we watch TRKA over here. I need to see the overall market. Maybe I put my absolute last stop on this will be right here at the peaks. We want to make sure that we are out there and nowhere else, because if it blows through there like it did on the last stop, then we will be in a world of hurt. So let's take a look at the SPY really quick, guys. SPY is bouncing. It is showing some wicking off that base on the 5-minute. That does look like a positive reinforcement for the longs, but will it hold or will this break down? Only time's going to tell. So we shall see. Let's go ahead and bring up UNCY on this left-hand side. It's trading up there at 151, looking absolutely gorgeous up there for a short. If you can use this as your stop, 163, that looks decent in that area, but be careful because if this thing wants to shape up, it really can head to the north side, it being a low flow as it is. VRAX on the left-hand side looks like it is breaking down. We're not seeing that pop yet. So if Mikey wants to see a pop to short into it, it's going to be a little bit more time before that actually happens. So we will see what happens there. Now, we got UNCY doing a nice little pullback, trading at that $1.50. Let's take a look at TDUP. So TDUP looked like it had this little early morning gap up of 20%, and now it's trying to create a range on the 5-minute, which it did for us right here. Now, this thing is now trading above its 200-day moving average. I don't know anything about this company, but when I see something trading above its 200-day moving average, I do like it almost immediately. I'm like, hey, this thing is actually showing that it wants to work out for the rest of the market. We are seeing big liquidity pools here and here and here. Not to mention, we have earnings, and earnings must have taken everybody by surprise. They actually they didn't beat earnings or anything. They just meet expected earnings, right? So if they meet expected earnings, well, then that's A-okay. We're going to see where this thing wants to go. Now, I missed the 5-minute gap up on this, which that's okay. We like to mark these anyway to see how they do. You guys know I do miss a lot of these, but the few that we do take, we make some money on. You're going to miss trades, and that's A-okay. Sometimes that's part of the game. So let's see where Ford's at right now. So Ford, we're still holding on to Ford short. We opened up at 12.89 this morning. It bounced off, and now it's trading at 12.95. Let me catch up on chat. What do you guys got? Snap nice 2. I think we'll get to 3. And thoughts on NRBO. So we'll bring up NRBO on this left-hand side. This is NRBO. NRBO, well, if we look at a stock like this, I'm on the 5-minute and I'm not seeing any liquidity here. That means I cannot trade NRBO. So when you're looking at a stock and you're looking at it, look at the 5-minute and see if it looks like this, if it looks like a barcode, this isn't something that we really want to look at, guys, okay? So just keep that in mind. We want to make sure when we're looking at a stock, we're looking at something that is very liquid like this. See how clean that is? We're going to look at something like this. This is choppy, but if you look at this got really clean right here. UNCY, it looks pretty choppy in the pre-market, but if we look through the daily, through the 5 minutes on the actual market open, it's nice and clean. So take a look at those. Little pencil when you're looking through stocks. Don't look at barcode stock. NVOS, let's take a look, guys. NVOS. Let's take a look. How are you doing, NVOS? So NVOS looked like it created a nice little bottom here at 21 cents. Got bought up and shot back up to the top, and now it looks like it's finding some of that supply up here at the top. So this is the area that we want to see this try and break through if you're long. But if you're short, these are going to be the areas that you're going to want to look to take a short using these tops as your stop loss. So whether you're long or whether you're short, make sure you know your risk. Keep your risk in mind, guys. So NVOS is looking good. It looks like we're getting some wicking on the 5-minute off the bottom. It's going to want to try and chew through all of this, but we won't know until that happens. Let's look at JSPR though, guys, because JSPR is breaking out of those highs. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. We're going to have to try and join the bid on this breakout, a little extended here, but we're going to take it. Now, we're in on 25 shares, so that's not a lot of shares, guys, but I do like the trade, so I want to be in this trade with you. So, not with you. This is my trade, not yours. This isn't financial advice. I'm just a big talking head, and I will ramble on until I get myself in trouble. That's the truth. So, NVOS, the price right now is at 0.22 cents, guys. 0.22 cents. It got up to that 24-cent area right where that liquidity is, and now it's pulling back. So we're going to see what wants to happen. JSPR is now trading at $2.14. We got 25 shares in at $2.10. So we're going to see what JSPR wants to do. We're just going to keep an eye on it here because it broke this area, and I like these tops when they break these areas, and I like when they come back and test these areas as well. So if we come back and test, that's when I'm going to buy in a few more shares of this. So one thing I do want to keep an eye on, guys, and I will keep bringing it up every time you put it in chat, I'll bring it back up, but I want to keep an eye on SPY. I want to see what's going on with SPY, what's happening here, what's going on exactly, because I want to know how my overall Roblox trade and my overall Ford trade is going to do, because they are obviously following the overall SPY as it is. So if we go back to a Roblox RBLX, let's take a look, and it looks like it's wicking off at those highs. It looks like it really wants to take me out here. This almost makes me want to add in here, guys, but I'm already down about $50 on this trade. So I'm almost at my max loss. If I take a loss on this trade, I probably won't be trading the rest of the day. So when I look at things like this, I'm going to hold out on my stop. Why? Because that is my line in the sand, and I need to respect my stop loss. If I want to play this Wyckoff short like I see it, then I need to stick with my trade. So yes, that is a nice little loss here, but guys, it's been a lot worse, and this is all part of trading. So you see it here first. All right, guys, so this is real, it is raw, and this is how trading is sometimes. So a lot of people are afraid to put themselves on blast, but this big chin can take it on the chin. You ain't knocking me out, and you are welcome, Amiri. I'm glad that I could help. So guys, I'm going to look at what I want to watch, and if you don't want to see it, you need to put it in chat, and I'll bring up something else so we can react to and talk about it. Take a sip of coffee here as the SPY is trading at 404.24. Let's bring up TRKA on this left-hand side. Oh, this thing is coming back down to test. Do I want to get another 25 shares in? Yes, I do. We'll get another 25 down for this test. Join in the bid. So now we have 50 shares in JSPR, and I'm going to use this breakout area right here as my risk. So now that I have 50 shares, and I'm going to call this my trade, right? I'm going to say this is my trade at 50 shares. Where's my risk? Well, I don't want to be in this thing if it breaks down anywhere below this, because that is not going to show me any proof that it's working out. So I'll go ahead and use the low of day. Yes, the low of day. So I have 50 shares and my stop is the low of day. This thing wants to come back and test the breakout area. Good. That's why I got in more shares. But if this thing wants to go ahead and fail here, I have my stop out. And TRKA, I see, is getting on there. Good discipline. Yes, sir. Thank you, B-Stu. I appreciate that. TRKA, it looks like it is breaking down here now, guys. And Christina, if you're still in the room, I do just want to point out, this is what we think I will do. This is why I'm so happy that you guys are coming in here. If you're new to the stock market, I want to save you a little money by showing you the mistakes that I've already made in the past. Okay, so when we get new people popping in here, thank you so much. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button because I am doing my absolute best to draw those lines in the sand for you, to get everything in pre-market set up and ready to go, guys. So if you like the commentary, if you like the analysis, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys. We should do a poll. Let's do this. I got a poll. You guys look at my top right screen. We have the SPY sitting right there at that 404. We're going to start a poll right now, and we're going to say, maybe I won't. Maybe it won't let me. Let's see. Start a poll. Start a question and answer. Start a poll. Okay, I already have a poll. That's why. We already got a poll up, guys. 14 votes. We're gonna have to end this poll. We're gonna go short or long TRKA. Well, we're gonna end this poll here with 14 votes. 57% said that you would go short on TRKA at the price that it was at that 90 cents, and it looks like the overall majority was correct. SPY though, is SPY going, let's see, SPY close, green or red will do, okay? Green meaning above its close or above its open, or red below its open this morning. So it needs to either be above 404 or below 404 in order to be this. So go ahead and go ahead. Guys, if you do me a huge favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. You know I love it. You know I have a passion for it. And you know I don't want anything more than to build this community. So TRKA, Amira is asking if this is a buy now. Well, I cannot give you buy or sell recommendations. All I can do is draw these lines in the sand. And you can see right here, it's coming back down to what used to be its supply. And now it's demand. Ate through its demand and now looking like it might be its supply. So I'm not going to buy this. It's way too overextended for me, Amire. But if you can find a good risk reward in this, then yes, this might be a buy area. But these aren't buy or sell recommendations. These are just my ideas. I'm just a big talking chin on here. Sometimes this chin gets heavy and we have to fill it with coffee. So it looks like the SPY keeps bouncing off this 404 area. Guys, will this hold in this area? It would be a beautiful, beautiful thing if this thing can hold for the overall market. Now, for my overall short in Roblox, that might not be good, but I am starting to see a couple of things pop up. We got RDW. RDW is popping up right here, right now. Look at this breakthrough on RDW. Guys, we called this RDW back in the dizzy. Now we are going to go ahead and get in this at let's do 50 shares. We're going to join the bid on this. Let's see, the spread is only 2 cents, so I'm okay with it. Now, if it can get me into this trade, I would love to be in this trade, but it's already pulling away from me. You guys can see I brought this on RWD or RDW up before. That's why we have the alert set. So when it breaks out through this area, I can get in. Now, what's happening here is I'm in. There we go. We're 50 shares in. Now, what I want to see is some continuation from this trade. We have a breakout. This is its breakout area. Now, if this thing can really take off, then that would be A-okay with me. But if this thing wants to trade sideways in this area, create new higher lows, That's okay too. A lot of times that's what happens with these breakout trades. You get in on the breakout and then you're waiting 3 or 4 days for the actual expected move. And that's A-okay. We're going to see what happens. We're up about $1.45 on this trade already on RDW. So I'm going to put RDW down here on the bottom of my trades. These are the trades that I am in. Some of these I'm long, some of these I'm short, but right now I'm wishing that I was long RBLX and not short. Well, maybe I'm not. We're seeing a lot of wicks off on that top, and it did not touch my stop. This is why, right here, ladies and gentlemen, this top is my stop, and it just did not touch that stop. That is what is amazing. Now, the question is, will this stay lingering like a smelly fart right up here at the top and stop me out of my short? It very well could, but I'm trying to be my absolute best on stream here as a disciplined captain. Please do not follow me. Do not follow me. And absolutely do not follow me, guys, because here's the thing. If you follow somebody else, if you follow their trades, you're never going to be able to do this on your own, okay? If the stream goes off, then how are you going to trade if you're following me? Now, it's great. I love the support. I absolutely love the love and support. But, guys, I want your trades to be your own. I want to draw the lines in the sands, and I want to trade for you live. But please do your best, due diligence, and only take your own trades. So if you're taking it, make it, own it, make it yours. If you're taking the same trade as me, hey, more power to you, but it is your trade because you are doing your due diligence and you are pressing those buttons, not me. Don't sue me, bro. Okay, so let's just take a look at TRKA on this side. It does look like we are getting a nice little bounce. Let's throw this on the 1 minute to get it really juicily exciting. So we are getting a bounce off that area that Amiri brought up and asked, is this a buy? Well, it does look like a nice area, but in my personal opinion, we get a lot of overhead supply, so we might want to see this area right here, this 82 cent. Let's see it bounce on that 82 cents like we seen back here on that 50 cent area that you guys knew was so juicy. Now, you guys knew when you guys came in this, you guys were talking about this 50 cent area. It was very clear that you wanted this 50 cent area, and some of you guys took that 50 cent area. So this is not very clear to me yet, right? Now, if this 79 cent or the 75 cent area wants to hold, let it hold. Just give it some time before we have our risk in mind. If we get in now, we'll probably just be chopping sideways in this, trying to prove itself for the longest time, right? So we don't want to be in that sideways action, guys. Let's let it prove itself. Let's let it make sure that we have an area that's drawn in the sand to take this trade, okay? So TRKA on this left-hand side, we're going to see if that wants to shape up. One thing we are in that I don't want to forget about is JSPR. So let's go ahead and bring up JSPR on this right-hand side. We took 50 shares in this because it wanted to come back and test. It did come back and test, and now it's right on that area that we wanted it to come back and test on. So what will happen here? It's either going to break me out for a small loss, probably a $3 loss on this trade, if it breaks down this daily, or this will shape up like I'm expecting, and this thing will carry on, wayward son, to the northeth side. Yes, I said northeth. All right, let's check on. I got 700 pieces of RDW. Oh, goodness gracious, Amiri. Let's look at RDW. Let's see what's going on with it. We need to be careful. I'm up a buck right here. We got 50 shares in this, okay? So we're very small share size in this, guys. It's nothing crazy. I can't lose a lot. And I know what my risk is, guys. I know what my risk is. My risk is going to be this low of day, this 366. So I use wide risk, so keep that in mind as well, okay? So we're going to hope, and I say that respectfully because I want to make money just as bad as you do, that RDW shapes up. But it's pulling back here. These breakout strategies, I'm still looking into, guys. So I take small share size to make sure that these RDW, these trades like these breakout strategies, will work out in the long run. So we're going to see what comes of this. This might be the wrong answer. So let's go through and see what we got going on. TRKA, ABML, and 48. Amiri, you're crazy. ABML, in a good way, ABML. So ABML, let's take a look at that. It looks like ABML is one of those same stocks where they gap up high and they sell off. Gap up high, sell up, gap up high. And it's happened many, many times. But we're starting to see some liquidity in here and it's gapped up. And it looks like they're trying to fight. They're trying to fight that NASDAQ delisting price. And they are pushing up and they're pushing up high. So where is the liquidity at? Where can we see some resistance? So this resistance we can see right here at 161. We can see some resistance here in this area but it's pushed up well higher than those. So let's just go ahead and zoom out here and see. This could be some resistance area right here. 142-ish. And that's not even the highest. It's not even really strong. It is running into that area, but I kind of cherry picked it because I'm looking where this area is. It's already touched once and now twice. So AMBL right in this area, to me, is looking not like a buy. You know, it doesn't look so much like a buy in this area. But in this area, if it shapes up and wants to trade sideways and maybe go test that next area, bounce in between it. But ABML kind of looking like it wants to fail in this area. Now TRKA looks like it's trading at 83 cents, so it's looking pretty dang good. 385 is my stop. Good, good. It's always good to know where your stop is. Joshi, did I say it right? Yes, I said it right. I was thinking about you last night. I wanted to make sure I got your name right when you popped on stream, and I did, so I'm proud of me. Good for me. Joshi, good for you. I'm glad you're here. Dow Jones pending buy target on 3444, 6.9 now, 333451. All right, brother. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. I actually haven't looked at the Dow Jones in a little bit. So Dow Jones on the right-hand side here. And as we know, the Dow Jones, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. The Dow Jones, it is your Coca-Cola stocks, your big Fords, your GMs, all your big tech, all your big stocks in general. Now, we've seen this thing, it's been trading sideways for an awfully long time on the daily, and it created this uptrend that broke down. And I even said, if it breaks this area, you guys remember 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago on stream, I said, if it breaks this area down, I can expect it to come down here to retest this 200-day moving average. We haven't been covering it the past 3 or 4 days, but it did exactly that. Look how beautiful that is, guys. And why did I magically guess that area? Well, look, it already did it once. And we know that this is a psychological area for all you longer-term swing investors, swing trading investors. I put those two words together. It might sound bad, so I'll be careful with what I say. So, this Dow Jones in this area, my personal opinion, it looks like it's slowing down in this area, and this is also an area of supply. So if you're looking to go long in this area, I personally think the long was more down here in this $200 moving average. If you're looking the long up here, I would definitely wait. I would wait until, you know, we get some overall better levels, okay? So this is a great level because you have 2 spots to go off of. It's a double bottom or even a triple bottom. You can call it a triple bottom. And you have a 200-day moving average to use as your stop, right? But if you're a long-term investor and you want to get in now, you can. Just save some money so you can dollar cost average into this thing as it pulls back as well, if it decides to pull back. Now, TRKA breaking down at that 82 cent area. Guys, I have this 80 cent area marked because that was the highs of the pre-market before, and we already seen in the history of TRKA that on this 50 cent area in pre-market, it held that 50 cent area. So can it hold this 80 cent area in pre-market as this tries to break down? So we will see on TRKA as this thing tries to shape up. Will we get another trade out of TRKA, or is the short still in play? So let's see. Amiri says, blessings, 1,533 up for the day so far. Thank you, Captain. Goodness gracious, Amiri, I promise you this. If you are actually making that kind of money on this show, I appreciate it, but you can't thank me for that. I'm just the big talking head. You're the one pressing the buttons, and you ought to be pressing them for me because you have made more than I have today. So congratulations, Amiri. I love to hear that you are up. Congrats, congrats, congrats. So let's see what Alex has got. Alex, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Sorry not to be able to be here for too long. Have an exam. Hey, brother, I just am glad that you popped in here. It's always good to see Alex. Always good to see Alex in here. So good morning, brother. Everyone, remember, 5 minutes till big meeting. Yes, 10 o'clock. We got like 3 minutes left now, guys. 5 minutes till big meeting. And if you're an options trader or a big day trader, a great idea to exit now. So don't gamble on the news unless it's a very small amount. So yeah, guys, these are kind of like lotto days in a sense because the volatility is going to be so rampant. It's going to be so high. You're going to get chopped. And look, we're already seeing it in the day. This is a 5 minute. This thing has a range of 404.67 to 404.08, and it is just going up or down. You can't pick a direction. You're either up or you're down, or you're up or you're down. So unless you're already in a trade and you're just standing by and you're just watching those trades, Be careful in the market. Papa Powell is going to start talking really, really soon here. So I'm wondering what we're going to see. So ONCS. Let me get caught up. You're awesome, brother. Your in-depth talks really help. Amiri, I love it. You're absolutely, yeah, I'm really, really happy that you said that. Thank you very, very much, because if I'm missing a trade, I hope somebody is making some money, guys. That's the honest to God truth. If I'm missing my trades, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to hope, and I say that respectfully, I hope that every single one of you can at least extrapolate some money out of this market if I'm missing my trades. So look at the SPY, guys. Just still chop, 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 and that's what we're expecting in 3 minutes. Papa Powell comes on there. So, oh yeah, ONCS. Yeah, I remember, Amiri. Yeah, you were talking about ONCS. I think you were in it at, was it, I want to say 24 was the magic number that you were in somewhere at 224, maybe 225, was it? I don't remember, Amiri. But we talked about this. I think you were up in here somewhere, actually. And when it came down, I said, you know, we might get a nice bounce off this. And we got a bounce off this bottom. And I was telling you, you know, if you're down, you might want to average out of this thing because we have a lot of overhead supply. So yeah, I do remember this yesterday, Amiri, or 2 days ago, and I'm really happy that you did listen to that advice and you made that decision on your own to get out of there. Because ONCS did end up failing off, and if you woke up the next morning, you were down quite a bit. So I'm very happy. Thank you for bringing that up, Amiri. I don't know if I rescued you, but I'm happy I could bring that up. So yeah, 230. Yeah, the 230 area. Okay, that makes sense. I had in my head the 225 area, but either way, you know, I'm glad that we could bring that up. And you did yourself a favor by bringing it up in chat. That's the thing. I never would have known to take a look at this stock unless you would have asked to bring it up in chat. So full credit goes to you, Miss Amiri. So SPY. Let's see what you're doing. Still chopping? If you're still chopping, I want to go take a look at my trade. So it's still chopping. Let's take a look at XM. So it looks like XM is giving me this nice little pennant forming up at the higher base. Now, I like to see this. How much is it trading? Well, look at that. It is still trading a lot of volume. Now, we're seeing a lot of that negative volume here, but these are what I call anomalies. Now, if you read this book, this is by Anna Cooley. This is called A Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. She brings up how there is anomalies in volume price analysis. Volume price analysis is very, very important, guys. If you don't know what VPC is, or volume price, or VPA, volume price analysis, then you need to pick up this book. It's like 10 or 15 bucks, I think. It's by Anna Cooling. And if not, go look at some YouTube videos. I'm going to start creating some YouTube videos as well on volume and how to read it and looking at some of these anomalies. So what do I see when it comes to these anomalies? Well, if we look back here, look at these traded bars. We're on the 5 minute, and you see how they're all about the same size and all the volume's about the same size? Well, we are seeing the same size right here, but a crap load of volume. I said crap load if you didn't hear it. And if you see all this crazy volume, but everything's still super small, that's a bad sign. That's showing that there's a lot of anomalies going on in this, that it's being manipulated. Now, I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong. I'm just a big talking head with a big old chin. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. This is my trade. This is my opinions. So I want to react properly. Now, I already have this trade on, and if I don't allow me to look at anything else in this area, it makes me just want to bring my stop up. So what am I going to do? If I see all these anomalies and something crazy is happening in this stock, I don't want to lose any money on this. So where's my trade? It's at 1720, right where this green line is. So what I'm going to do, instead of taking any more money off, because we have already extrapolated money from this trade. We have already taken money from this trade, right? So because we're already up, I don't want to lose any money on this trade. So I'm going to set my stop at that 1720. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and bring my stop now up to that 1720 at 35 shares, okay? So bada bing, bada boom, my stop is in. And now, if this thing wants to flush down and stop me out today, that's fine. I won't lose any money. I've already made money on this trade. And that's what we want to do here. We want to make sure that we lock in those profits and that we are able to always extrapolate a little money. Now, TRKA trading at 82 cents, guys. 82 cents. It's just trading sideways on this line. We're going to need a lot more time for this thing to show us its true colors. So we shall see. I've learned how options work. Well, good, Amiri, because I have not. I try to steer clear of those. Let's take a look at Tesla, because we did bring up Tesla, I still need to get through the rest of my trades. TRKA. Hang on, we're going to go through all of that, but let me get through my trades really quick, guys. You can tell I love you more than I love me because I want to go through my trades. So because I haven't gone through my trades, I should say. So it looks like the CLMT did break down and did touch that 21-day moving average. So I told you guys, if I see that flush and I see it touch, it's going to get me excited. So I might buy, let's go ahead and buy 5 more shares up in this area. We'll see if it wants to get me in, because I like these flushes. This flush right here clears out this area, scares everybody out, so now I can get a few more shares in, and that's why I'm always getting stopped out. TRKA now flushing down to that 76-cent area, guys. So now, will TRKA try to find a nice, happy little area in this area and trade sideways, or will it continue to flush down? Now, we know it's gonna have some support in these areas. We know it's not gonna head straight down or straight up. We want to see where is this gonna hold so we can find good risk, good reward, so that way we can keep on keeping on. Okay, so let me keep on looking at the rest of my trades. RBLX, well, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at that? Just take a look at it. Now, I will tell you this, because I was down so much up here, when I look at this huge flush back down, it gets me a little bit more excited. I'm not down $65 now, guys. I'm back up 14 bucks. Now, what do I want to do with this trade? Well, first thing I want to do is look at the SPY to see how the overall SPY is trading, right? So the overall SPY, look what the heck happened, guys. This is why we pre-warned you. Oh my goodness, what a flush on the SPY. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trading at 401.84. Big flush in the market. This is what we were talking about the past few days. And as it flushes, TRKA starts to flush as well. We are seeing a huge bout of liquidity come in this market. We did warn you. Alex came in before he had to leave and he said, hey, guys, exit your trades now. That was his opinion, not mine, but I did back him up by saying, guys, we're going to see a ton of liquidity. Thank you, Alex, for coming in here to try and save some butts. But guys, look at what's going on in the market. If this doesn't make you excited, nothing will. I am going to rise up. I'm bringing the desk up. It is time to stand. I don't care how my feet feel. We got coffee and we got London on the track. TRKA dropping down to that 74-cent area. Guys, this is why we talk. This is why we pre-market. We had plenty of people come into TRKA and say, Dave, listen, Dave, tell me, is this a good? Is it too late to buy in? And I said, not at these highs. We need to wait. We need to see. This thing needs to prove itself. And I really hope that I saved a few of you new investors, because that was a huge push down to the sell side. So let's make sure that we're keeping an eye on everything that's going on, guys. SPY breaking down to 401.72. I need to go through my trades to make sure we're not going to get completely eradicated. Now, good sign with XM is that it's holding its gains after that huge fail in the SPY. So XM still holding up after that. I absolutely love it, and I'm glad to see it happening. So let's do this, baby. I am pumped. What a great morning. CLMT, I'm glad I bought that up, or I'm trying to buy that up again at that base. Let's look at RBLX. RBLX had that huge flush down here, and it looks like it's starting to get soaked up on the 5-minute. But what I want to see is what the 15 is looking like. So the 15, we're getting soaked up on the bottom. I think I'm going to reduce this share size by at least, we'll go with, man, I really don't want to get out of this trade if we're going to continue to see that sell-off. But I also don't want to, we're going to go ahead and just take this trade off, guys. Because things are getting a little crazy in the market, and we're going to go ahead and just get out of this because we were down so much. We're going to join the bid, and we're going to get out of this trade because we don't want to take a loss on this. We were up so much this morning. Then we were down so much this morning, so we are out, and we're going to try to find another trade. So we'll go ahead and put RBLX on the back burner. I might be kicking myself in the butt for that. I might say, hey, why the heck didn't you just hold on to that, Dave? And I'm already regretting that decision. Just putting it all out there for you guys on the line so you know exactly what the thought process is as day trader happens. So maybe I was right, maybe I was wrong, but we're going to have to really keep an eye on a little bit of everything. What's happening over here, guys? So we got RBLX, that's taken care of. XM, let's get that squeezy to the top. XM, CLMT, still trying to get some shares in. We'll see RUS is breaking down. So ALGM, we got a few shares in that. We're going to see how that trades out. And Ford, breaking down hard. Now we have, we're up about $27 on this Ford trade. I took about 100 shares short because I wanted to play off of that 200-day moving average bounce. And it looks like we are getting it now right here in front of you guys. So we're up an easy $28. All I had to do was stay determined, stay disciplined, and say, hey, this is my trade. This is how I'm going to take it. Now, TRKA at 72 cents. Let's look at RDW. RDW breaking back down almost to those low of the days. If it wants to continue breaking down to those lows, then I'm going to have to exit this position. But I do like a retest, but I want to see that volatility stay on a pullback. So this thing pulled back, it needs to show some liquidity coming in here and showing that there is proof of concept in this trade. We're down about $9.50. CLMT did just add in 5 more shares of my trade now. So that's good. We are in, and now we're going to see what that wants to do. Now let's take a look at JSPR. I'm up about a cup of coffee on JSPR. You were here when I took it at $2.08. We're going to see what wants to happen for JSPR. So good morning, good gracious. We are already having a crazy good time in the market today. I absolutely love to see what's happening because you know I'm a bear with bull horns. When we get these bouts of liquidity and these pullbacks, you know I'm still rooting for the overall long-term account. You know I have plenty of money in the long-term account. I have invested in the S&P 500 through the VOO, paying a dividend, okay? And I also use VTI, which also pays a dividend, and I'm using those as my longer-term investment. Now, we could take a look at those, but we could do that in a few minutes because we have a lot going on. Let me take a sip, Shawana, because, woo, that voice. Rabia. Good morning, David. I'm so late. Today was not feeling the greatest. Just wanted to say thanks for the tip with Tesla yesterday. Rabia, good morning. Seriously, I was just thinking that. I was thinking, where the heck is Rabia? New Vision showed up late too today. I was like, man, because I had some issues with the stream this morning. But guys, Rabia's here. You know it's going to be a good day. I am so pumped. Thank you so much, Rabia. And you know what? Joshi was in here. Wait. Yes, Joshi. I said it right 2 times. I'm getting too excited over this. But Joshi's here, and because of you, I've been saying his name right. I said it right away. First time on stream. Holy crap, we need to get back into it. Let me take the sip of coffee. Goodness gracious, TRKA absolutely flushing to the downside. We are at 56 cents, guys. 56 cents. And yes, we will go over that Tesla trade. I'm glad that I could be here for you on that Tesla trade. We need to just be the sights and the sounds. We draw the lines and the sands. And guys, we had people asking first thing this morning, is it too late to get in TRKA? And I said, no, it's not too late. But right now, there's no risk. We cannot find a risk. So do not get in at the highs. And we protected a few traders. And if you're still here today, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, guys, because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, producing the best commentary, the most passionate commentary. And if you don't believe it, ask your friend, ask your mother. I'm the most passionate you're going to find on YouTube. Try and find another. I guarantee you will not. I have scoured the internet far, just so stinking far. I've scoured the internet to find somebody that does what we do here. We're creating an amazing community, guys, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here for me. So let's make sure we keep up on TRKA down to that 55 cents, guys. 55 cents on TRKA. Now, if we get down to this 50-cent area, we need to understand that we should see a hiccup. We should see a stutter. It should bounce, but with these small, low float stocks at around 50,000 for Troika Media, you need to understand these bounces can be short-lived, or it might rallyto to the north and side, and we might see something crazy. So we're going to watch TRK with our eyes peeled to see what happens. Well, the SPY looks like on this 15-minute, it just hasn't done anything except for failed. So RBLX, I'm going to feel sick to my stomach bringing this up because you guys know I was 95 shares short, but I let this WikiWik offer scare me out of the trade. So we're just going to have to focus. Oh, RDW might be stopping me out here already, guys. Yes, it is. So it's time to get out with a little bit of a bigger loss than anticipated. We are down $15 on RDW, but doesn't want to hold here. I think what I'll do is I'll just set my stop loss right at this base here. So that way, if it wants to flush out, we know it'll get us out and we will have this last, and it's gone. Look how quick that sold out. $16.50 loss on RDW. Need to be careful with these breakouts, guys. And same thing with JSPR. Also pulling back with the overall market back down towards my stop loss. But will we see a test? And then will we see a bounce? These JSPRs, these smaller low float stocks, usually tend to move aside from what the market actually wants to. So we'll see what JSPR wants to do. But in the meantime, let's take a look at Ford. Ford looks like it's finding a bid down here at its base of $12.82. It found a nice little, $12.80. It found a nice little bid, and it's trying to push higher here. So I'm going to keep on holding on to Ford because I'm expecting the overall. I'm expecting it to fail overall. So we'll see. Maybe I should take 50 shares out of this right here, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see. So TRKA Media looks like it is flushing now that 55-cent area. Did this thing halt? Yes, it did. TRKA Media halts to the sell side, guys. Who knows where this thing's gonna open up? But on the 1 minute, we are gonna see right here, right now, where this thing wants to open up, guys. So drum roll, please. We don't know how long this thing is going to be out, but we will see very, very soon. We will keep you updated. Let's take a look at the SPY over here on the right-hand side. Still looking like it finally caught a bid. We need to see where is this thing going to fall, and we're not going to see it on the 5 minute. Let's take a peeky gander on the hourly. So we have a huge fail here, but it looks like it's running right into a little bit. Here, I'll just bring this down here like this. All right, and this goes all the way back to here. So this $400 psychological area, guys, you know it, you love it. And look what's happening on this psychological area. It looks like it's starting to wick, okay? Now, anybody in their right mind could say, hey, we could take a long here. It looks like it's wicking, but in my personal opinion, this isn't an area for me, okay? Some people like these huge flushes, these big, scary flushes. They buy in and they play it for whatever they want. This is not my type of play. But we're going to keep an eye on SPY because we need to see what the overall market wants to do. But just keep in mind, guys, Papa Powell is talking right now. As we speak, he speaks. And he likes to move the market. He has a voice that resonates through the market, through thick and through thin. Now, TRKA is still halted. Let me see if I can catch up on chat. So let's bring up Tesla. So yes, Tesla, we were talking about that $200 area, that psychological area back here with Rabia. And I said, I don't care for it because every time we popped back in the day, let's look on the hourly. Every time we popped on the hourly, it was failing more or less and less, creating new lower highs. And then this one here into the 200 didn't even break through and traded sideways underneath it. And I said, you need to be careful. This thing might fail. And if it fails through this 184, we could come all the way down to this 180, 170 area. So it's good that we talk about this in pre-market prep, guys, because things seem to be happening exactly how we called them out. Now, I'm not going to be right on everything, as you know. I do take losers, but I am not a loser because I learned from those losers, and I anticipate you guys doing the exact same. If you like my comment, it opened back up. TRKA now at 53 cents, guys, bouncing off that 50-cent area. It looks like we're going to see if that's what it wants to do. So will we be playing off that 50-cent area? I want to give it a little bit more time, but it might not give me any more time. We might see this thing want to shape up and scream to the north side right off the giddy-get. So we're going to see, because TRK is open and it is at 50-cent area, 57 cents now, 57.01, guys. TRK, it is open, it is back. Welcome, Marcus Rave. Marcus Rave, good morning, and it is back. That's right, baby. Let's see if we can catch up on the stocks. Yes, Marcus, you've been in here for a little bit. My bad, I'm just seeing you. Good morning, good afternoon, all that good cordial stuff. If you like, hit that subscribe because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, giving you the best commentary. Yes, TRK number 4. Okay, very cool. Heiser said TRK is a number 4. So if we look at number 4, it was a parabolic that failed. So maybe we will be going into a number 5 here soon. Maybe this is the 5. Who knows? I don't, because I don't play it the same way Heiser does. But look at this. This buy-up area right here at this line I drew, it did not touch that 50 cent. At 51, it looks like we're getting a nice little bounce in TRKA. So if you took it, let me know. I love to hear winners winning. All right, guys, so it looks like Tesla's trying to find a bid now in that 186 area. If it can hold this area and head back up to this area of $200, that psychological area, that's going to look good for Tesla. But if it breaks down this 186, if it breaks down this 186, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I think we're going to see 180s real quick if 186 breaks. So let's take a look at chat now. Joshi says, or else may jump up to 406. Okay, I'm skipping ahead here. New Vision's Holt buying, I see. If SPY spends more time below 401, minimum 1 hour, then ready to give 391 target fast. Nice, Josie. Or else may jump to 406. Oh my God, TRKA screwed us all, is what Amiri said. No, Amiri, it did not screw us. It did not. It's doing exactly what TRKA would normally do. Now, this is exactly what it does. People know that there's so many people in it. That's why we need to know what our stop is. And that's why this was our entry area. This 50 cent was our entry area. And that's why we take profits on the way up. We have to learn from this. If you think in the mindset of TRKA screwed us, then you need to understand that you're not the one in control. I want you to be the one in control. That way you take the blame for yourself. And I mean it in a loving and caring way, guys. If you start realizing that it's not the market maker screwing you over or somebody else, that it's your own bidding, your own doing, guys, it's real simple. What can we learn from this? Well, we learn not to take from the highs and we take from a base, right? So this 50 cent area was our base. That's what we wanted to play off of, and that's what it looks like others are also playing off of. So now we don't have just 1, 2, 3, 4 tests. We have this fifth test of this 50 cent area. Now, how high would this bounce get? I am not sure, but we are seeing a bounce. So back to being the risk asset, we look back on this hourly and we can see why that 50 cent was not just a psychological area, but it was a very nice area to take a trade off of using it as our risk, okay? So we're gonna see what TRK wants to do, but Amiri, I absolutely love you, and I don't want you to ever think that it's somebody else is doing. I want you to fully take full commitment on yourself, because that is the only way we're going to get better here, guys. And I mean it in a loving and caring way. So let's keep on keeping on. Why do you say that, Amir? Okay, let's see. Oof, man, bless God. I was smart and sold TRK at 85 cents. Sad for anyone who held. Yes, a big thing, guys, is we see this in the market a lot. A lot of people, they'll buy and they'll recruit. They'll buy a bunch of shares, and then they go out into the public. And that's why I say there's a lot of stuff that we got to sift through out there. So TRKA is one of those, guys. People buy, they see it on the internet, they see other YouTubers talking about it, and then they go out there and they create all of this, hey, I bought it, you need to buy it, it's going up, it's going, and you create a confirmation bias. Now, this thing can still go up, guys. This 50 cent as a risk is a risk. People are still seeing it that way. Now, how high can this go off this 50 cents again? I don't know. It's got a lot of overhead resistance now. There's plenty of overhead resistance right here in the 75 cent area. So is TRKA done? Well, it does look like it took a big hit right there, guys. So it's going to have to really fight back if it wants to make us some money, okay? So be careful out there. TRK is a low float, flying sky whale of a stock that might rip your face off, and it looks like it probably did that to a few people today. So be careful out there. Know your risk. That's why I always say know your risk. So TRK is the framework, okay? If it is the framework, then this is the parabolic, okay? It's definitely something I'm gonna have to go over a little bit more with this. So this right here, we had the run up, we had the supernova, and then TRK was at parabolic, and now it comes back down. Here's that 50 cent area, that dip buy, and then it's probably gonna pop up into this number 6 for another short. Okay, so that is the penny stock framework. This is considered a penny stock, right? It's under a penny. So right there's the framework. You get a big push up. Now we're getting the number 5 bounce. It should bounce back up into that 6. I do believe. Yes, New Vision. We do know Powell is talking, and we are seeing some crazy movement in this market. So absolutely. Let's bring up SPY. Let's see if this thing's still tanking. We're at $400 even, guys. $400. 401.11 now, 401.11, as TRKA still is getting bought up off that 50 cent area, looking absolutely crazy, guys. Now at 69 cents. We just went from 59 to 69 cents in almost 2 minutes, guys. In 6 minutes, we made it back up to that area. Wow, what a crazy push. We're gonna see what this wants to do, because now we are back up into that supply area that I told you it ate through. So this might be resistance here, guys. So if you're down, you might want to average out, but that's not my trade. That's yours, that you would be doing it too, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at some other stuff here, guys. Let's see. let's see. Average is, Amiri, your average in TRKA is 73 cents? Then what are you complaining about? You better take profits up there at the top. Amiri, I'm just blessed. I'm honestly blessed that you're here. So let's see. Heiser, Chase, and Greed. Heiser, I guess. Thanks, bro. Heiser, you better be nice. Let's see. Heiser, beautiful bounce. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Amiri, it is fighting back. New Vision, I'm just happy you're here. New Vision, Powell is talking. We know that. We know that. Let's see. TRK at 70 cents. Yes, it's at 71.98, guys. Every time I look at chat, this thing goes higher. So let's keep on going. We know chat's bringing this thing up. This ain't no silly business. If I look at chat and I look back, goodness gracious, we're going higher. Amir, RDW headed down. Yeah, I did set my stop, so let me make sure it did stop me out of that trade. So let's take a look. Yes, I did get out of RDW. It did have that nice ramp up, and then it came right back down and stopped me out of that trade. So small loss on that. Let's see how our Ford is doing. Let's see how Ford's doing here. So Ford looks like it did soak back up in this area. I know this thing isn't just going to fail all the way down all at once, so we're going to take our time. But I need to hold my breath right now because I'm going to look at RBLX. And, well, it did look like it soaked right back up, and it looks like it's trading sideways now. I really hope I don't regret my decision getting rid of that because I was up about 14 bucks this morning, and I am down about 17 now. So we were down a lot more, but hey, it's A-okay. That's trading, baby. We can look at some of my winners, but we can look at some of my losers. That's the only way we are going to learn. Well, XP still holds up at those highs, still holding out on a 13.53 cent trade. 73 cents now, guys. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. This is the profit zone. Absolutely. Good for you guys. I love to read it. Come on, past 74, as Mir says. Yes, sir. El Grande Smokio. I bought TRKA again at 61 cents. Well, let me tell you, if you bought it at 61 and it's sitting at 73, that is a beautiful profit right there. Let me just take a look at it. If you bought it at 61... and it's trading at 63. That is a 20% gain, El Smokio Grande. I would expect for you to at least take some profits before it heads back down from this supply area. So I don't know what's going to do here. These aren't buy or sell recommendations, but I will say this, guys. Take profits when you can because in these speculative stocks, you never know what's going to happen. I could go over 1 million stocks, all of these being small cap traders, and you'll see a lot of them just fail. So please be careful in what you're in. Know your risk when you're in it. And NVOS, just as we talked about this morning, Mike, if you're still in here, I don't know if you took this short or not. Maybe I think you were looking at UNCY and VRAX. So we'll go over this in just a second. But guys, we talked about NVOS this morning and about how we had all these wicks. I drew the supply area out for you so that way you knew what was going to happen with that, and we had a big pullback. So now TRKA down to 67 cents. Sorry, I didn't need to take that off the screen for you guys. Goodness gracious. So let's see. Heiser says, market giving you another chance. What are you going to do? Question mark. And she says, what do you mean? Heiser. He's trying to give you a few hints here. Make sure you're taking profits, guys, is all we're trying to say. Make sure you're taking profits. So Amiri said this is her profit zone. Since she's back into her profit zone, she's happy as can be. So Heiser, I think she's on top of it. El Grande Smokio said he already did. El Grande, that's what I like to hear. We need to make that money, ladies and gentlemen. Make that money. Make that money. Don't make me start singing. Let's see, SPY's close. So everybody in here, we want you to vote on the poll. Right here's the poll, whether it's going to go green or red by the end of the day. And now we have 14 votes, and we're seeing where the SPY is over here. Are we going to vote on green or red? That is going to be the real question here, guys. Are we going to go green or red on the SPY? Make sure you vote now. And while you're there, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys. Why? Because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday. I'm bringing you the best commentary and content that you could possibly want. And if I'm not, it's because you aren't in chat. Let me know what you want to see. I'm here for you. Let me prove it to you. Put in chat something that you want to see. I will check it out. I will do the analysis the best I can on it while taking live trades, guys. I take live trades right here in front of you. It is hard and it can be fun, but just know when I start to sweat, it might be entertainment for you. So JSPR still trading sideways, but above that breakout area. So that's all I want to see. NVOS did break down from that area. We did get a pop up into that area, a beautiful short area. XPON just trading sideways. We could go through all these, but I think we want to keep up TRKA on this left-hand side for you guys because we want to see this thing do what it's intended to, right? So TRKA now trading at 65 cents. Will I go over my other trade, CLMT, just lingering around that 21-day moving average? While CRUS gets really, really tight on that 10-day moving average, it might be a better risk reward for me now, and I might want to get in a little more. Well, ALGM does pull back and is creating a nice little handle for that cup. Well, Ford tries to fight back towards that north side after bouncing off the 200-day moving average where I took my short sale. And RDW, it looks like I got out just at the right time, but it's trying to push a little higher now. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off the watch list. So let's go ahead and take a peeky gander at BFRG, just trading sideways there. We wanna keep TRKA up on this left-hand side. So let's go ahead and look at this just to know. Complete market Dow want to go up to 34446. NASDAQ buy as well as sell target. SPY wants to go down. Tesla just made sell target at 175. My targets are compulsory to come. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Let's take a look at Tesla actually because I want to see where this thing's shaping up. So Tesla did break down and it did hold that 186 area. And I told you guys that's where we want to see that thing hold. If it holds 186 and wants to head higher or at least trade sideways under here, we still have hope for Tesla. If not, it might break down and head at least down to that 180 area. So we're going to see what the overall Tesla wants to do. But let's see what the overall everything is doing as the SPY found a bid at that $400 area and now is just chopping around under that around that 401.42 under the SPY. So let's take a look at IWM. The Russell still breaking down now at 187.7, trading closer now to its area of support, which is 186. Netflix looked like it had another breakdown here, and it looks like it tested that 306 area and bounced off of that. So it looks like in some of these stocks, we are at those areas that we want to see bounce back. So will it or won't it? We will see very soon. As Microsoft heads lower now, trading at 254.72, looking like it's coming back down to that 200-day moving average. Will it test? Will it make new higher lows on the daily for us right here, right now? Let's take a look at Amazon. So it looks like Amazon is pulling back, and like I said, I'd rather be a fanboy for Amazon than anything, and it looked like it pulled back into what was supposed to be that supply, and it ate right through its supply, broke through it, and now found a bid and is trading in that supply once again. So we're going to see if Amazon wants to hold out. If we can hold out here, trade sideways, or even head back higher where we originally came from, that'll look a lot better for the overall market. And now Meta. So Meta, I wanted to look at this thing this morning for a short, and look what happened here. This beautiful, beautiful thing just failed on us, and I had no time to pay no attention to it, but that's A-okay. I'm not going to be mad. That's a beautiful, beautiful trade. Let's go ahead and look at Nvidia. So we were talking about Nvidia this morning, and we were talking, what did we say here? Let me take a zoom out on the 5-minute. I need to see it on the hourly. All right, so we were talking about Nvidia and how it broke through those highs. We took that break of high, and it came back down here to test. So we wanted to see this thing take off higher and get back up to that area. And I said this might be a nice long here. This might be a nice long in this area using this as risk. Well, as you can see, as the overall market takes an absolute duty poo, this thing held this area on this wick, but it did break this 235. So we need to keep an eye on Nvidia because it looks like it's doing its best to hold this area of 235, but just chopping around right now. So we're gonna need some time. As TRKA starting to head back lower, huge wick on that 5-minute, got ate right back up as it tried to touch VWAP, but didn't even get to there. So 73 was its new high off the bounce, off the bottom, and now is selling off hard into its supply, guys. So be careful out there if you're still in it. Let's see if I can catch up. Snap's at its multi-month resistance, Heiser's saying. Let's take a look at Snap. So B. Stewie brought this up here. Oh, wow, it really is way up there. Multi-month resistance, huh? Wow, look at this trade, guys. So it is multi-month resistance. If we look at Snap and we come all the way back to as far as here, this red line that's just above it has got 1 and 2 from way back here, and then just below it, at this $11 area, one, two, three, four areas that it's traded at. So it's just breaking this high and it's pushing up into this 13 area. And we're going to see what wants to happen here, guys, because this right here, a multi-month resistance, that might be a nice area to short, or even better yet, let's say it does break through and comes back to test that multi-month area, that might look good. Now, keep in mind, Snap has had plenty of different oddities in it. But the coolest thing about Snap is that on earnings, it was its first time that it ever actually showed that it earned money for the company on its last earnings, and it failed. It failed. If you guys remember, I bought that Snap earnings back up. It came back down, filled that same gap again, and then has headed higher ever since. So this huge push up, it looks like this might be formidable. If we look at the overall market on this thing, it does look like these bottoms have been getting bought up, guys, by institutional ownership, at least by the volume. And this push up was relatively high too. So if you're looking for a short in this thing, it does look formidable. We are seeing a lot of resistance overhead at its multi-monthly highs, but we do need to be careful with Snap because this is showing some proof of concept. And if it wants to head higher, then it might do that in this area. So we're going to have to give this a little bit more time to see what it wants to do. But good risk reward here if you wanted to use this 1267 as a risk and take a short on this. Let's see, we got 40, 50, about 20 cents of risk. You could say, 25 cents to make it easier. That way you can know exactly, where it's at. So, yeah, it's looking good. I do like this. This is definitely going to be on my watch list from now on. I want to put this. I want to put this down here. Actually, let's put this on my 2023 watch list for Snap. I'm going to have a lot of work. I'm going to have a lot of things that I need to go over tonight, guys, for sure. Because I feel like I am missing out on a lot of things doing this, but it's a-okay because I am here for you. Goodness gracious. So let's see what's going on in the chat. We got New Vision saying Microsoft. Let's take a look at Microsoft while we're right here. Microsoft getting a nice little pop to that 255, running right into that VWAP area. This might be a good place to short. What's the overall market looking like right here, guys? So the all-around market's also getting that push to that 402.75 off that $400, that psychological area, 450 actually, and it's trying to push up from here. Now, is this a nice little bounce to try and run into its resistance at 404 as it fails? I don't know. Today is really going to be a really choppy day, in my personal opinion. I know for a fact, actually, because look. If we look at the 5-minute yesterday, look at how it moves. Look at the 5-minute today. Look at the 5-minute today, guys. We are getting huge influxes, okay? Usually the SPY only moves about 1.2% on an average daily base. We have already seen the SPY move down 0.92%, okay? So it's already in the very early stages. It's only been open for 1 hour, and it's already moved almost its daily range, okay? So let's see. Christine, were you here this morning? Were you here this morning? This morning you asked if that was a good buy area when it was up here. And I was talking to you and I said, no, we don't buy highs. That's not a very good area to buy in, Christina. And look, I was trying to save you. It looked like you left us and then you came back. Christine, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I want to see you here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I want you to be here for pre-market prep so we can get an idea on these things before they happen. Christine, I hope you didn't buy those tops. I asked you nicely not to buy those tops, and I'm glad you're back. So make sure that you're coming in here for that pre-market prep so we can talk about all these things. Good. I'm glad you do remember. Thank you so much for being here. So let's go ahead and see what else we got going on. I'm panicking, TRKA. Well, Nick, you shouldn't be panicking. What are you panicking for? Where did you buy in? What was your risk? We always want to make sure that we have our risk, guys. And if you guys remember, when we decided that we were thinking about taking this trade, it was right here at this 50 cents. Nowhere back here were we looking at it because we didn't find a formidable base. But once we seen a psychological 50-cent area and we seen a good risk reward, then we took this trade. Now, we took this trade risking this 50 cents anywhere up into this 52 to 55 cent area, and it pushed up high. And as it pushed up, guys, as it pushed up, I kept saying, hey, we got to take our rewards. We have to pay ourselves, right? We took the trade, now pay yourself. So sure enough, this thing paid itself and it pushed up higher. We paid ourselves, and now this thing is flushing right back down to that 50 cents. We got a nice bounce, but Heiser came in and said, hey guys, you need to remember, this is the bounce to start getting out because this was the flush, okay? So we're going to see what wants to happen here. But Nick, hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe, buddy, because we try to go over these things to keep everybody safe. TRKA was a beautiful trade, and it still can have some trades, but we have to keep in mind, guys, what we're dealing with. We have to know the float. We need to know our risk. We need to know where we're going to earn that Rari, okay? So stick around because we are going to bring all the hottest news to you as quick as we can. So, average down, Nick, is possible. Yes. Amiri, that is probably the best advice I could possibly give is, if you're hurting, you need to average down. Every pop that there is, you need to sell off into it. If you're panicking, you need to sell off so you can sleep tonight, okay? Cup and handle on XTNT. Let's take a look at XTNT for my boy Low Pencil in the building. XTNT, if you look, it's super choppy. It looks like a barcode, and there's no cup and handle that I'm seeing on this thing. You might think you're seeing one here and a handle, but no, it's not liquid. It's not what we're looking at. That's not the cup and handle. Maybe I'd give you an example of a cup and handle, okay? So let's see at ALGM. So this is what I'm looking at for a cup and handle, Little Pencil. This is the daily. I like to see them on the daily and the weekly cup and Little Pencil. Here's your cup on the daily. I drew this out where I'd want to see it break out so I could get in, and it did. So when it broke out, I got one share just to keep an eye on it. When it pulled back here, I got in 5 more shares. Oh, I'm sorry. I took 5 shares total on this. No, I didn't. I took 5 shares total on this on the breakout. Now it came back and retested, and I didn't get in because I wanted to see how the market was playing out. Now look, now it pulled back and it's back up to this $45 area. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add in 5 more on this cup and handle trade, okay? This is my play, not yours. So make sure if you are doing this, you do your due diligence and you know where your stop loss is. So cup and handle, for me, this is a cup and handle. And why am I taking it on this? Well, it's not too far extended from its 10 and 21-day moving average. It's well above the 200-day moving average. And also, I looked a bit into this company. This 200-day moving average is starting to curl up as well. I looked into a bit of this company. This company is a leader, not a lagger. It's not lagging behind. It's not a beat down stock. I'm not looking for beat down stocks. I'm looking for something that looks strong already while the market had been looking weak. ALGM, XM, ELF, all of those type of stocks, those were all showing us that they were the leaders, that they were in control of the market, or they were in control of their positions while the market was out of control, okay? So that's why I take these stocks, and I'm hoping I can get another 5 shares in ALGM. So we'll see how that works out in Little Pencil. I hope that gives you a better understanding of how a cup and handle should look, okay? So any other questions, you just let me know in chat, and I will do my absolute best to get to them. There we go. I'm 5 more shares in ALGM now. We're going to see how that wants to play out. Let me take a look at SPY right now to see what that is shaping up to be. So SPY looks like it is trying to head lower. We have a big wick off on this 5 minute. Let's see what the 15 looks like now on the SPY. So we are seeing a big wick off here right at that VWAP on the SPY. So let's take a look at a few other things here. We got Meta. We could probably use this as a nice stop loss again. It's 195, but I've been burned on Meta the past couple days, and I don't want to just take some random trade, especially with the liquidity as crazy as it's been. Now, let me take a look at RBLX because, yes, I'm glad I got out of RBLX, guys. And now I still be using this top, so maybe I don't. Maybe I get back in here. Maybe I start shorting it again because I don't believe in Roblox. I think this thing is going to fail, but it's starting to hold this area. See this line? It held this 41. It held it. Here's 1, 2 tests. Here's 3 tests, okay? Here's 4. Now, if this thing wants to keep holding like this, then I don't want to be holding in it because it's showing me that it's holding this area with the overall market having that huge pullback. Yeah, I don't think I want to be in that stock, okay? So I'm happy with where I'm at. We're going to see how it plays out. But we extrapolated money from it yesterday, and we gave a little bit back today, but we at least have earned more on Roblox than we have lost, so I'm happy. Let me see if we can get through the chat, guys. Let me see if we can get through the chat. And, man, I need to look at my trades, honestly. So XM's doing good. We're still up 12.13, just moving real slow. CLMT, we know we bought a few more shares in at that base. CRUS, bought a few more shares, and we are up to 10 shares at ALGM. Ford, we're trying to see that thing get smacked down to the ground because I'm still 100 shares short in Ford, and JSPR just trading sideways. We're up about 2 cents on JSPR, so we're going to see what comes of that. Let me take a sip of coffee, and we're going to run through the chickadee chat, baby. Wow. You know, I'm very, very impressed, guys. We had to start this stream over again, and we are already up to 145 views. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be your commentator. So let's try and run through this. So, Christine, glad you remember. Is now the time? No, I didn't. So I don't know what you mean by is now the time. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking when you say that, but when we ask questions here, we try to give our own ideas first and give our levels, so that way we know exactly what we're talking about. Because I'm just a big head, a big old chin right here in front of you, and I bounce around from one idea to the next. So if you're going to talk to me, you need to have a little bit of context with it, because I have no idea what the heck I said even 5 minutes ago. So Tesla buy above the 192. We already went over that. So pre-market $4.22. No 526 Weight Watchers. This morning news, new FDA fat person shot, supposed to be game changer. Oh, a fat person shot for Weight Watchers, huh? Well, I can tell you this. There's been a lot of things that have came out that have said a lot of different things about trying to get people skinny. So I kind of want to read that news. But just remember, guys, we are actually, and I hate to do this to you, B. Stewie, but I'm going to take a short here because we are actually hitting those tops from back here. Look at this. This all-time highs right here at 539. So Weight Watchers had this huge base. It just peaked over that 200-day moving average, and it's running into its top. Now, we have a big increase on volume because of earnings, and it's running right into that 542. Now, it probably won't let me short because this is looking like more of a penny stock. But these news, these fat shots, these things that get you really excited about what's going on are usually just there to get themselves out of the stock. So they might say something cool, some good news, but hey, Stewie, if this is yours, what I would expect on this, if you actually wanted to see something really play out here, what I would want to see is this thing push on through and then pull back, and then let's see, it's only 1 penny. It's very liquid still. But what I want to see is this thing push through hard on volume, and then pull back and test this $4.45 area. And it looks like that's what we're starting to do right now. We're pushing up to that $5.50 area, and we're going to see if it wants to head even higher on these shares, and then go ahead and test that area for a long. But right now I'm shorting this area using this double top because we have a huge push in volume. It looks to me like a blow off top. Now these are my shorts. These aren't your shorts. Don't wear my shorts. Oh man, you guys remember when they were selling red shorts? Goodness gracious. You're still holding RDW, Amiri? Well, what is your stop loss? Because if you're gonna hold RDW, you need to know what your stop loss is. And from there, I don't really know where my stop loss would be anymore, and that's why I'm out of it. Now, I do hope you are profitable and that you took a small share size to be able to hold through that. But we are in the Weight Watchers short here at the high of the days. 545 is the highest this has ever traded, and it just broke through that on liquidity at $5.52. So I decided to take a short sale here. This might be at my demise. It might move on a lot higher, but it's only going to take time, and it will tell us exactly what we want to see. We are also overbought on the RSI. So we're going to see how this thing wants to play out. It looks like it wants to give me a little pushy push through, making me a little nervous, but we will see how this thing really wants to play out because we need to give it a little bit of time. So let's see, FSTX, not doing anything after it pushed up, just trading sideways. So nothing too interesting on that. Let's go ahead and read the chat. Let's see. Ash Magnus looks like a big win for the shorts today. Well, we'll see. You know, in the long term, you know, when it comes to these, you know, the SPY still has a lot of day to work out. So the SPY is just kind of trading sideways right now. Not trading sideways. It sold off hard this morning, went back up to VWAP and sold off hard, now heading back towards that $400 area. So yes, you can absolutely say the shorts look like they did a great job today. If you were in those shorts, they took care of it. But we still have a lot of trading day left. This could really shape up in this $400 psychological area and really take off and head on a lot higher. One thing I do want to take a look at, just because I'm watching this Weight Watchers here, this Weight Watchers, I want to make sure that doesn't have a crazy short interest on it. So if I look at it, we do have a 9% short float on this. So I do want to keep careful, because if this goes too high, we might see a little mini squeeze. But that 9% isn't much at all. I would consider this a average short interest on a stock that is up this high. Now, if we were piling in around that 30%, that might be a little slippery. That might be something that I don't want to mess with. Let's see what else we got going on here, guys. I want to make sure that we are taking care of a little bit of everybody. We're just going to go ahead in here and make sure we are live on this silly little thing over here. So guys, if you want me to take a look at something, I'm going to do my best to ketchup and chat, not mustard. We got to get this mayonnaise. So let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's see what you got. Throw it in the chat. Let me see if I can catch up. Google, buy after crossing 96, stop loss at 93, target 114. I like that. Let's take a look at Google, G-O-O-G-L. So Google right here at 94.79, looking pretty good. We know that this thing is in its area of supply. So for me personally, this thing I think is going to bounce around this area. And if it bounces around this area, that's really good for Google. So I'd like to see it head on higher in this area right here. So if it could just trade sideways, we get this V bottom on the daily. If it could trade sideways and then head on higher, that might look really nice for this stock. So one thing I do want to point out with this Weight Watchers stock, one thing I didn't do that I need to start doing is I'd seen this stock and I got in almost immediately. Within a minute and a half, I was in this stock after taking it, only seeing a double top. What I need to do is wait for that backside, wait for that pop, and then get in the stock. But right now, what I did is I got in almost immediately after I got in, and I am not too happy with this trade because I don't see any wicks. I don't see any tops, and this thing might have a nice little blow off that I might not be able to hold on to. And if that happens, guys, if that happens and then it starts to sell off, that would be a better area to find a risk instead of using this double top. So we see a double top. This is maybe where we'd want to watch this stock for a little while, waiting to see what actually comes of it. And then once we actually see that top, we see those wicks, that would probably be a better area to get in short rather than just getting in short and then waiting to see where this wants to fizzle out. So I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye on this. We don't want to take too big of a loss. We keep our losses small. We keep our winners big, and then we keep on keeping on. So let's see what else we got. Okay, we're all caught up. Let's keep on keeping on then, guys. Let me fill up the rest of this coffee, and we need to take a look at TRKA to see what's happening with that. I'm going to bring this back down, give the old legs a break. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on which time zone you're in. It might be even earlier for you guys today, and if it is, that's a-okay. Go ahead and have a sip of coffee, sit back, relax while I do the live commentary, live trading, and live stock analysis. If I'm looking at something that you don't want to see, well then put up in chat what you want to see, because we only want to be here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 565 as my stop out. This is getting me a little nervous here, and I might want to just do as I said before and get out of this stock or get back into the stock once we see the wick offs on the top. So here is my stop. It's probably going to stop me out because it's such a tight stop, and if it does, that's a-okay. We are going to learn from this loser. What are we going to learn? Well, we need to see the backside to play the backside, and if we don't see the backside, we can't play the backside, can we? So we're going to leave this 100 stop at this top, and we're going to see if we get stopped out of this for a small loss. Let's go back through and see how XM's doing. XM still trading sideways in that area, not looking too shabby. Trading at 1740 right now. It might want to head on down. And we know we have a lot of anomalies going on in here. I think there's a lot of insider trading going on in all of these little ticks, which tells me I might not want to be in this stock anymore because it's not trading like your normal stock. So let's keep on moving on. CLMT, we did buy that bottom. We're going to see how those extra 5 shares do us. CRUS, same thing with this. We're still holding on to this. The P&L for the day is only $2, no big deal. We bought ALGM after it proved to us that 44.75, that it was looking good. And Ford finally coming back down. We have 100 shares short of Ford. We're up about $23 on that. JSPR looks like it's just coming right back down to our buy-in area. We're in at 208, guys. 208 is the area we bought in. We're just holding small with 50 shares. We let it come back to test before we got full share size in. So we're gonna see what happens with JSPR. Remember, these breakout strategies have been doing absolute doo-doo lately for me. So you gotta be careful with them, guys. You gotta be careful. But it looks like with this Weight Watchers, we get this nice little top. We are getting a pullback. Now, this might be the area I should be looking in to get short rather than where I did get short. So if we look on the 1 minute, which gets a little crazy, we can give it a little bit better of understanding of where the volume's coming in. So we had a nice volume push here, and it looks like we're getting some volume blow off top, and we're starting to see some sell-off. So what do I want to do in this area? Well, I can just wait and hope, but what I'm doing is using this top as my stop. This is my line in the sand. I'm either going to make or lose 30 bucks in this area. So that's what it is. This is where I wanted to get. This is where I got in, and this is where I should be waiting to actually get in so we can see where our top is rather than getting in now and then finding the top. So that's what I'm learning real time with you guys on this trade, guys. Okay, VRAX. Let's take a look at VRAX. VRAX. Take a little peeky gander here. So VRAX, we were looking at this morning, guys. What we're looking at VRAX, well, I told you, I am blind on this chart. I don't see any resistance except for overhead at that $2.36 area, okay? Now, we were saying, or Mikey was saying, he was looking for a pop to sell off into this area, and it looks like he played that properly. I want to see his chart because I do hope that he did take this the right way. So, Big Grant, I'm going to get to you in just a sec, Big Grant. Sorry, I skipped over you. So VRAX looks like it's trying to shape up, and I told you guys in pre-market, you know, we want to see this thing shape up because we have this liquidity down here at 125. So if it wants to hold out above this 125 area, that is going to look really good for the stock. So VRAX might be something that we want to keep an eye on, maybe let's say tomorrow. So if this wants to hold up and say keep bouncing off this area, this might be an area that we can use as risk. If we find good risk, we can find good reward. So Big Grant, first Big Rant, R-A-N-T. Good to see you, brother. Let's see what you got for us. Bought at 92. Don't panic, guys. It's going to recover. The shorts cover and bounces back up from $1. So let's bring up TRKA because I think that's what you are talking about. So TRKA, not track, TRKA. TRKA did get that big bounce that we were talking about off that 50 cents, and you can see the supply area that we talked about it running into. So it did trade in that supply area in yesterday's, and it traded sideways and pushed up through in pre-market. Now you guys know I don't care for pre-market. I don't care to trust what happens in pre-market. So when we seen this, we talked about this being a push and sell off, and that's exactly what it did, guys. It tried to hold this area. We said we need to see this bounce multiple times off this to use it as risk. So if you're holding out, make sure you take profits. And look, guys, once this room started taking profits, this thing decided to drop. Let the beat drop. Let the beat drop. All right, I'm not gonna get all black-eyed chili peppers in here. You guys know black-eyed. Is it? No, black-eyed chili peppers. Oh my gosh. The black-eyed peas and the red hot chili peppers just had a baby and are now making us money. So TRKA is now trading at 63 cents. I hope you guys listen to the same kind of music I do because I am all over with it. So guys, I love it. If you love it and you want some more of it, hit that like, hit that subscribe because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. You know you love it. If you don't, that's okay. Tell me why you don't so I can approve because we always want to get better. Okay, guys? You're only a loser unless you're learning. And we want you guys to learn every single day. If it's not from me, learn it from reading, learn it from watching YouTube videos, learn it from something, guys, because we want to get better every single day. Now, if we look at that Weight Watchers contract that I took, not contract, but the shorts that I took 100 shares, and we are still trading right in this area, right at that top. It came back down, it tested it. We've seen a little bit of volume. It looked like there were some buyers playing off that double top, trying to keep this thing alive. So is it going to stay alive? Is it going to be able to hold, or will this break through those tops and give us that flush down to the south side where I can take half at VWAP and then see where the other wants to lay? But overall, this Weight Watchers has been heading down ever since, goodness gracious, ever since way back here, 6/19, 2018, Weight Watchers has had a very hard time under the 200-day moving average. And right here, it's just gotten above it. So I'm expecting this thing to really give us a flush. Now, TRKA is now flushing down to that 61-cent area. We're going to see what this wants to do for us, guys. We're going to see what it wants to do, and we can only hope for the best. If you went along, make sure you know that you are using proper risk. If you're short, make sure you're using proper risk. I don't have any proper risk when it comes to the short in mind, but with the long, I'm going to need. Is it being shorted? I would 100% believe that TRKA is being shorted, and I also believe TRKA has been being shorted, and that is the only reason why we have seen this move up so high so fast. Why do I think that? Well, because these moves usually happen because there are shorts in it that are getting squeezed out. When shorts squeeze, they're forced to cover. When you cover, it acts as a buy order. So yes, I do believe that all of this area, the shorts were getting squeezed out. And then at this area, I think they were loading back up. And yes, I do think it's getting shorted here. When it came all the way down this 50-cent area, I believe this is a lot of covering here. So yes, Amir, I 100% believe that TRKA is not only has been shorted, but it is continuing to being short, and those shares are revolving, coming back and forth, in and out of the stock. So yes, TRK is definitely being shorted and has been being shorted throughout the life of its cycle. Now, WW Weight Watchers sitting right on top of that 545 area. I want to see it flush here, guys, so that is when I can start making money, and I don't have to be so squeamish about this top that I took. But we did already learn from this. Even though this might break down, it might print me out some really good money here, what we need to understand is this Weight Watchers, and there's the break, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm waiting around to see. Using that high as my stop loss, we want to see Weight Watchers print me some money. So we got that little break here. And why am I looking at this? Well, there's plenty of reasons why I took this trade. We went over a few different times, but I'm glad I kept with my risk. I was getting really squeamish when it was sitting at this 461, and I said, okay, I can't handle this anymore. It's too big of a loss. I don't like to take anything more than $20. So if you guys see a $20 loss or higher on here, you know that I messed something up, and you can ask me why. Why did you mess up on that trade, Dave? And I will go through it, because I am not a loser, and I learn from my losers. So awesome. B. Stewie, it's good to see that you're still in here. You are always learning. You're always reading, and I love the enthusiasm. Thank you so much for being here. And as I spoke about Meta looking like a tasty little short, look at this beautiful thing. It got pushed down, but I could not find a trade on this, guys. I could have used that high, using that high, but it was just too far for me for the risk reward expectancy. So I'm glad to see it doing what I expected, but it kind of sucks that I couldn't find a trade in it. Now the SPY trading at $400.74. It's well at its low of the days, heading lower. I am afraid to look at RBLX, because if I would have just held on to RBLX, right? No. Don't even do it, Dave. Don't even do it, Dave. But yes, just like First Solar, right? FSLR, right? Sometimes I like to bring myself pain. FSLR is still trading way up here at this $214 level. You guys look at this green line down here. This is a trade that I missed, and Rabia had to grip the FSLR ticker out of my watch list and throw it in the garbage for me, because I could not stop looking at this thing, and it still hurts to look at, guys. That's why you need to play your trades. Play your trades. Take your trades. Use your risk management and make that money. Back test your trading. If you don't know it, you don't understand it, take small share size. Back test your trading, guys, and that is where you can find out if it's making you money or if it's not making you money. So let's take a look at Ford and see if it is still making us money. Yes, we're up about $26 on Ford. Let's take a look at Weight Watchers again. We're up $12 on Weight Watchers now. Let's take a look at JSPR. JSPR is looking like duty. We're down $1.25. There goes that cup of coffee. Let me clench it tight and take a sip. That's a good cup of coffee. We are still here for 1 hour, guys. I'm still here for 1 hour. You know I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you like it, hit that subscribe button, baby, because we have an ever-growing community. I don't know what the subscription is up to right now, guys, but I haven't made you do it. I'm going to ask. You got to give me 1 second. This is called self-preservation. If I go to YouTube and I type in LoFiTrader, guess who comes up? Me, almighty me. And, guys, if I bring this in front of you now, I hope I don't get a loading screen, but we need to make sure we are clicking live. If we click live, then we will be live because this is a live show. We're going to do 2 other things while we're here. We're going to vote. Is it red or is it green? I'm going to guess now red, okay? Because I like to be right. Okay, we have 18 of you watching. Let's hit that like button. My goal is 25 for the day. We got 1 hour to get to that 25, guys. Trip hazards here. We're going to look up First Solar. Yes, we did. And NVOS is coming up. But trip hazard, while you're here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It's right here on this left-hand side. I'm already subscribed to my own channel. And goodness gracious, guys, we are up to 281 subscribers. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here. We are swelling to the masses. We are being wanted by all traders around. Small cap, mid cap, large cap, long-term investing. We do it here, baby. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Now let's get back to the chat. Back to the chat, baby. Back to the chat. Gotta love it, right? Got to love it. Let's see. We got New Vision said FSLR. Yes, sir. We just looked at First Solar. We got it up right here on this side. FSLR looking golden up here still at that 214.78. We got Trip Hazard. Welcome, Trip Hazard. Thank you for joining the show. We do appreciate the comment. NVOS, what's up with them buying swag checks? Let's see. Let's take a look at NVOS right here. Swag checks. So NVOS, we brought this up this morning. And we know that this was at supply area and pre-market, and we talked about a pop and a short sale here. Now, I told you, I don't know what the heck's going to happen over here, but if we want to see this thing continue higher, we need to see it trading sideways and not giving everything back. And that's what it's doing here. It's not giving everything back, but it's coming back into the supply zone, and you can see that it just barely touched it and started to sell off again. So, only time is going to tell with NVOS. Now, I don't know what the news is on its swag checks. Maybe you can explain that to me a little better in the chat, Trip Hazard. So, Joshi says, okay, bye for now. We'll join again tomorrow. Take care. Joshi, thank you so much. Yeah, Joshi, thank you so much for coming in. I do appreciate your dedication and your support to this channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys, and hopefully we don't get tripped out or we don't have a trip hazard in the morning, tomorrow morning, and we can keep the same stream live throughout the show, because we would be going crazy big right now if we had everybody we had in from the morning. So thank you guys so much for rejoining and stopping in here and saying hi. So we're going to bring up TRKA on this left-hand side because we need to know what's happening with this, since it is in the title, of course. And look at this. It's creating this little pennant here, guys. Now, is this pennant going to scoop up to the upside and carry on wayward son, or is this thing going to be giving itself over to the bears and try and break this 50-cent area? As of right now, we are in a war zone, guys. TRKA is in a war zone right now. Why do I say that? Well, this is the psychology behind it. We already know, because we covered this for the past couple days, that TRKA on this bottom at this 50-cent area keeps getting bought up. So we said this is a great risk. And then we talked about taking reward into these areas because we don't know. We don't have any visuals except for overhead resistance. Then sure enough, this thing came right back down, and look, it's trading in between this area and this area. So we have bulls right underneath trying to chalk their horns and head on higher as the bears are trying to swipe down and keep those bulls at bay. But you know me, I'm a bear with bull horns. I like to see both sides, so I am not biased. Let's see this thing climb higher. Let's see the thing get swiped down. But either way, you're going to see it right here, right now, guys. I can almost do a countdown. This thing is tight. Let's go to the 1 minute and let's see if we can do a little countdown. We might need a little bit more time. This thing sure is looking like it is coiling on the 1 minute. Now, we know we have overhead supply right here, here this overhead supply, because every time it's touched it, look, it pushed hard into it with high volume, pushed off, pushed into it again, sold off, pushed into it again, sold off. Now we have an even smaller bounce here. What is going to happen with TRKA? Only God knows, but we will be here to cover it. Guys, this is looking absolutely crazy. Let's go back and take a look at the SPY. I have 30,000 shares at 17 cents for NVOS. So let's take a look at NVOS as the SPY looks like it's bouncing right off that $400 area. So NVOS, let's take a peeky gander. So if you have 400 shares at 17 cents, I would highly suggest using this area to take profit. Now, these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just acting like if I had it at 17 cents, what I would want to do, because every time it comes up into this area, it keeps selling off and it's selling off. And if you look too, it sells off even lower. So we have, these are our peaks, and every time it comes up now, it makes a new higher low. And now it looks like it's making a new higher low, and it's testing this area and starting to sell off. So do keep in mind, if you are up that high, Trip Hazard, I would like to make sure that you are making money. So these are my ideas. They are sorry, I'm dying. These are my areas. These are my thoughts. They're not yours. You can trade this however you feel, but just keep in mind that there is overhead supply and there is some buying being bought up. There's still plenty of volume being bought up for the day. So no worries, no sweats, no frets. Just make sure you know what your risk management is, okay? So it looks like it does have higher than average traded volume here in this area, but is this its blow off back into the resistance? Because we know we have a lot of wicking off on the top, a lot of wicking off on the bottom, and it looks like an absolute war zone out here for NVOS. So we will see what comes of that. SPY reverse at 401, New Vision says. Let's take a look at the SPY and see what's happening, and then I want to check out my trades before this NRKA takes off, because I have a feeling we're going to be really having to cover that. So the SPY on the hourly, goodness gracious, look how bad this looks on the hourly. Let's put up the 15 minutes so we can get a little bit more information. So now we're seeing a lot of wicks off on the Wiki Wick Offerson's right above this VWAP, and it looks like every time it comes up, it's getting wicked off again, and this might be the same thing for this 400 push. So it bounced right off this $400.25 area, and now it looks like we're starting to see some wicking off on that top. So as we speak, it looks like NRKA is trying to hold that base at 61 cents, so that 60-cent area. It's really trying to hold here now. So we're right in the middle of these peaks and the troughs, right? And we want to make sure that whatever happens here, we use a good, proper risk management. And right now, I don't have good risk management. My risk management was down here. Hey, if I'm going to use this and I'm going to go long, I'm going to use this 50 cents as risk and try and get it as close as I can to it. Well, I did not do that because this is not my play. This is your play, and I'm going to commentate on it for you. So I called it out. If you got it, good for you. And I know El Smokey El Grande got a few bucks out of this, and so did a few others. And then some of you were taking that profit like a Mire after it came back up into this area. So good for you guys. I'm glad to see that we are doing a great job and we're trading smart. So we're going to make sure we go through NRKA right here. I don't think you're looking at NRKA, the Seeds of Humanity. Why don't we take a look at SPY while you figure out which ticker that is. It is not NRKA. NRKA, yeah, that's on this left-hand side, the Seeds of Humanity. If you look, this is the daily chart, candlestick pattern over here on the left, bottom left. And over here on the top left side, we have TRKA on the 1 minute, so we get the real inside of what's happening. So let's look at TRKA. It looks like almost I could do a little countdown on this thing. If this thing breaks out of the 64-cent area, I have a feeling it really could push. But if it breaks down this area, this 60-cent area, I think that's where we're working with. We're working with 63 if it breaks above and 60 if it breaks below. Now that's too tight for me to want to take a trade on, but from what I'm looking at, if I had to guess, I would be the bull with my bear paws out, right? Trying to swipe down on this thing because it's already gave a lot back and we already have a ton of overhead liquidity. Now I've seen crazier things happen, and if this thing wants to squeeze and we get a bunch of people piling in this thing on this pullback, we might see something carrying a lot higher. So let's keep an eye on TRKA because it looks like right now, it looks like it's going to make its move. It is 11 o'clock though. We might get a lull time in the market because people might want to go out and start taking lunch a little early, but we will see. We still have an hour as the SPY pushes back up to 401.24. I need to take a look at my trades on the right hand side. XM looking like it's printing us a little bit of money, still making that bull flag pennant up there, and we're still up about $12.48. Well, CLMT is still heading lower. We're down about $1 on that. No big deal. And CRUS, we added into this trade, I do believe, and it's trading. We're down about $4 on that trade. ALGM, if you guys remember, I was waiting on this pullback. Now we're getting some wicked off top percents, but that's A-okay. This is a longer term trade trying to play a cup and handle. Let's look at Ford. As I try to short Ford, Ford keeps on wicking down and getting bought up, wicking down and getting bought up. But I'm in this for the longer term because I don't think that 200-day moving average is going to hold out. And JSPR right at the breakout area where I decided to buy it in. It looked like it did come down. It did test that area of buy-in, that breakout area, and it looks like we're seeing some wicks off on the bottom, but we will have to give this a little more time to play out. These things just don't go straight up or straight down. Now, we have WW right here still hanging and lingering like a stinky fart under the covers. We're going to see it did break down on that top. That top I'm talking about is the double top right here. It broke through that double top. We took a short right when it ran into it, and then we seen it break down through. Now it's back up to test that area. So we're gonna see right here, is this where Weight Watchers wants to break down, or does it want to trade sideways and then push on higher? I think there's only a few stories and a few more minutes and we will get a better understanding of it. But I do have this stop right here at the top because that is my line in the sand. That is my, okay, yes, I know I'm wrong and we need to learn from this. Or this thing just heads on lower and we print some money off of it. So only time's going to tell with Weight Watchers, but we shall see, baby. Let's see. Seeds of Humanity. Yes, you're very, very welcome. I rock. Well, thank you. I hope you're subscribed so you can see me rock out every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. El Grande Smokio says, I grabbed some more at 61 cents and waiting to go up again. I honestly don't believe in it as a long-term investment. Well, good, you shouldn't, because TRKA is a pretty crappy stock. And as we say that, it's starting to break down. So make sure if you had it, you're taking profits. And if you are in this for a longer term, or not even a longer term, even for a day trade, you know your stop, ladies and gentlemen. Know your stop. All right, so let me just go ahead and go back to this live trading room and driggity drop in here. Hopefully we can get everybody doing what they need to do so it gets done. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Doodle-doo, SPY above 401. Yes, sir, SPY above 401. You'd love to see it. It'll help these markets out tremendously if this can just hold this area above 400. And I really think this is going to be the area that it wants to just shimmy, shake, shudder, and do its thing here, guys, because 400 is very psychological. We were talking about it last week and the week before that this 400 area is going to be a psychological area because it is an easy area to be in. You know, it's an easy area to risk off of. And there's a lot of trading that has gone around it. We've seen it bounce its head off of it multiple times just in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So we know when it gets back down to that area, it's going to at least show us something, and it is right here. It's showing that it's slowing down. It's showing that it's trying to stop, and now we're getting another bounce. But this could easily break on through. It depends on what Mr. Papa Powell has got to say for us, and if he's going to bring a dovish or a hawkish mood to the overall market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall indices, and we'll start with Netflix for my boy New Vision, who brought it up in the chat. So yes, Netflix, we talked about this. I only want to look at Netflix on the daily right here, guys. Why only on the daily? Well, because that is where my draws or my lines are drawn in the sand. We can look at the hourly to help understand as well. See this uptrend here? I drew it. It's right at that 300 line. We talked about this morning. If it breaks this area, if it breaks this $3.09 area, I'm expecting it to head down to that $300 area. So we did break down. Now it pushed back up. Now it's retesting those lows at that 309. This might be a nice area for a short. Why do I say that? Well, because it broke down and it pushed back up. Now it's using its resistance as supply, it's using its resistance, its support now as resistance, and this thing probably will head lower. And as I say that it starts to punch lower, SPY back down to that $400 area. Is it going to be able to hold here, guys? If SPY can hold here, I take back what I said about Netflix. But If the SPY can't hold and it wants to trade down lower and give back more of the past 3 days earnings, then that's a-okay, because we know we're safe as long as it's trading above this 200-day moving average, and we are still far above that. So looking good. Sorry if my phone's going off and it's making a bunch of noise, guys. That is not meant to happen. But let me go through my trades really quick to see what's actually, I'm sorry, I don't want to go through my trades. I want to go through the indices, right, guys? All right, good. Glad that you guys are staying on track. SPY breaking down to that $400 area. Now that $400, we need it to hold. If it doesn't, that's a-okay. We still got plenty of room to come down, but we would like to see it hold. If it can hold this area, it's going to look a lot better for the overall market to hold a psychological level like this. So let's look over the rest of them. It looks like the IWM is all the way back down to its original support area that it's traded sideways on for a couple weeks now, trading at 187.47. Netflix breaking down to 309.40. Is it going to head down to that $300 area that I brought up earlier and last week? Let me take a sip of coffee and we'll find out. Ooh, now that's some good coffee. I wish you guys could try it. SPY at 427. Let's see what Amazon is doing. Amazon just playing around in that supply area. If that breaks down from there, we might be in a world of hurt, as Meta breaking down even lower at that 185.86, guys. 185.86. It came back up and tested that 185 area. Goodness gracious, I'm going to wish that I got this thing short, but I just could not find good risk reward. Goodness gracious. Well, it's a-okay. We're in a few other things, so we're going to see what is going to happen. So let's bring up TRKA on this left-hand side, because we're going to get right back into TRK in just a minute. I see we have some more questions about it. Nvidia still chopping around this area, not looking too healthy. We did talk about this area being a buy, and it looks like it broke down through it, headed higher, and now it's just chickadee chopping things up, guys. Let's look at this hourly so we can get a better understanding. If we look at this hourly, we were talking about this being a buy area. It did break down through it, but it bought back up and is still in this area. So personally, I would have been stopped out on this trade because I would want to use this 235 area as my stop out. But this trade would still be working out for you if you did take that area. So we are going to keep an eye on Nvidia because it looks like it's doing very healthy with the overall market trying to do that pullback, as Tesla trying to fight back, trying to hold these lows at 186. Not what I expected, honestly. Well, it did hold that 185.50, so it is what we said was going to happen in pre-market. It did hold that area, but if it can break down this area, I'm thinking it's going to head down to that 180 area. So keep that in mind, guys. We need to be careful. Okay, so it's 11:18, guys. We got 45 minutes until the trading day is over for myself. Then it will go on to 4 without me, and that's a-okay. We're going to end this vote on the poll. 64% said green SPY close, and 36% said red. So it looks like the overall sentiment was to the north side today on the SPY trading on the north side. But it looks like the SPY is heading lower, but we still have a long trading day, and you know these moves, this thing can literally touch 400 and rocket right back up to the north side. Now, it's not looking too healthy, but we can see that this is an area of supply. This thing broke right through the supply. Is it going to bounce around this 400? Is it going to find support? Only time's going to tell. But guys, this is looking crazy. This is why we talked about Papa Powell talking. We need to understand that it started at 10 o'clock today. That is when the liquidity came in. Right at 10 o'clock. Let's take a look actually on the 1 minute. We'll find exactly where 10 o'clock started so we can see the crazy volatility. Look, 10 o'clock, right there, 10 o'clock starts. And boom, we get a huge drop in the market. Why? Well, because it's usually a bloodbath. When Papa Powell pulls that mic, he does a mic drop and the freaking market falls out of the bottom with it. So, keeping that in mind. If you want me to talk about TRK, just give me one more second. On the 10th is payroll. CPI is on the 14th. And then on the 22nd is the FOMC meeting. Dabs, it's good to see you. I'm glad that you joined us today. Please hit that subscribe button. I'll give you my analysis on TRKA. Now, we've been looking at TRK for the past couple weeks now, guys, and we know where was our risk? 50 cents was our risk. Where was our takeout area? Each morning you woke up, into profits. You might as well take a little piece off. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's just a couple bucks. You take that off so you can pay yourself for all your hard work and all your earnings. Now, this thing shorted. It got sold off like crazy. And look where it bounced, right off that 50-cent area. We used price action for our risk, and it proved worthy to us, right? Now it bounced off that 50-cent area and headed all the way back up here for another 20% gainer, back up to that VWAP area, and it's sold off. Now, every time we see a pop, it's selling off, pop, selling off, a little another pop here, and we're gonna see, does this thing wanna reclaim, trade sideways and head on higher, or does this wanna sell off too? Only time's gonna tell, but I would like to say the trade was here at 50 cents. And then this would be your sell-off right here. So I would be very careful with TRKA. We know it is a 50 million float. So this thing can really rip your face off. If this thing wants to form a base back here on 50 cent, this thing can form a nice base here. And then people can use that 50 cents to risk off of again. It might create new lower highs and then rip everyone's face off. So be careful. But remember, if you're the one that's holding the bag, be careful. Know your risk so you're never the bag holder, okay? Yes, Dab says TRK going up. Don't sleep. Yeah, I hear ya. Because we have seen, while we were asleep, we have seen it climb a lot higher. But while we're awake today, we can see it with our own eyes. We're keeping it peeled, ladies and gentlemen. But this is trading lower today. So more coffee. You need more coffee or I need more coffee? Because I know I talk a lot and I can talk a heck of a lot faster than that. Just wait until you ask about what is this stock? What does this do? You want to know what TRKA does? Well, I can read it about it. I can tell you, I can spit so many quick coffee facts. It's just crazy and ridiculous. You either love it or you hate it. You're either going to hit that subscribe or pass on by. But that's A-okay, because what do we have for TRKA Media? Well, it's a marketing service company which leverages data and technology to deliver integrated branding, marketing, media, and analysis solutions. It offers the following services: TRKA Brand Building and Activision, TRKA Innovation and Technology, and TRKA Performance is an acquisition. The company was founded in November of 2023. So now that we have a better understanding of what TRKA Media does, we know that this thing is hurting for some cash apparently. Or maybe it created a supplement and sold off into its shareholders. But either way, we do want to keep an eye on TRKA because these things might shape up in these areas and then head on higher using a 50-cent risk. That might be A-okay. So we're going to cover this every single day as the market trades at 429 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, it is at its base. Is this going to bottom out here and head on higher, or will the SPY break down lower, breaking the psychological $400 area? You are going to see it right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, because it is squatting down on it. So be careful in these areas. If you're taking a short, the short was not here. The short was more at VWAP or this morning. This short in this area can be dangerous. These breakdowns I am not good at, so I stopped playing breakdowns. But you can see it right here, right now. This is squatting on that 425 area, and if it can break through this, we might head much lower. But we will see, because this still has plenty of time to shape up. Maybe this is the low. Maybe this is where the volatility comes in, and this is where people start buying. Guys, I am David. I'm with LoFiTrader. If you like anything to do with the stock market, I am here for you. We do small cap, mid cap, large cap, and I want to be your voice. You put the stock up in the chat, and you better believe it. This is butter, baby, and I am the gravy soaking it all up. Let's go. I am Dave. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you like it, if you love it, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, because we do it, baby. And if we weren't doing it, it'd never get done, right? SPY at 441. Well, TRKA is trading at 60 cents. I need to go through my trades, ladies and gentlemen, to see where I am at. We're up $12.30 on XM. CLMT, we're down about $1, just watching that. And same thing with CRUS. We are just keeping an eye. ALGM, we added at least another 5 shares into this. We're down about $5, but that's A-okay. I'm trying to play the cup and handle play on this. But Let's see what the real deal trades are doing. We are up about 25 bucks on Ford. Good for me, good for you, good for everybody that doesn't want to see Ford go higher. But we have to keep in mind at some point in time, this is going to find its base, and I need to exit the position to let the bulls get their butts back in here and head to the north side. So let's look at JSPR now, up a whole cup of coffee. And as I say that, I clench my last few drops of the coffee. We got about 30 minutes left. I gotta make it last. That is so delicious. The best coffee breaks happen right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you have coffee, let me know. We'll cheers it up, baby. Let's look at Weight Watchers right down here into this VWAP area. This should be where I take some profits. Do I take profits here, or am I going to hold on? Well, I'm going to keep on holding on. Why? Because I don't believe in Weight Watchers. I think Weight Watchers is going to absolutely fail, and I could be completely wrong, wishing I took out half of my shares right here, right now, but I'm not doing it because I want the overall move, and after seeing this huge short come in here and people buy it back up right in this area, I want to see more sell-off happen. So maybe I'm being a little too greedy, maybe not, but TRKA now just goes down to 55 cents and heading lower to 54 cents. What will happen here? Is this the end of TRKA, and do we gonna find a new fanboy stock out there? Only time will tell. We will see very soon what's gonna happen with TRKA. So we're gonna see, what do we do with Weight Watchers? Do I hold? Do I take a few pennies out? Well, I think I'm just going to hold. We're going to hold the whole day and see what happens. This thing stopped me out, and then I say, man, you should have taken profits. Just like you tell everybody, take profits, take profits. Well, I'm looking at the overall expected move of Weight Watchers, and I do want to hold for a longer expected move. With 100 shares short at $5.45, we're going to see it do what it needs to do. So let me just go ahead and edit this to show you guys. Yellow will be my short sale. This is where my short sale is, and that is where my expected move is. Right now, right here where you see this is my stop loss. So I'm in this thing to win this thing, and if it wants to break above where I got in now, I'm just going to get out for break even, okay? So no sweat on this trade now. I canceled this at the peak, and I brought my stop down to closer to break even. So if something does happen with this trade, it's only a break even trade now, and I can hold on to this thing and not have to hold my breath. And right there we get that down tick, and now I can look away. So let's go JSPR. I'm hoping this thing will take off to the north side. Well, TRKA is trying to find a bid down here at 55. We know we are defending this 50-cent area, but we are already out most of our shares. We don't want to be in this thing after this big blow off because we don't want to be the bag holders in the future. So know your risk, know where that Rari is, and let's catch up on track. Let's see, 12 years old and fat. What's your average? 62. Okay, I see it. Don't miss the highs like me. 12 years old and fat. Have you had your cigarette break yet? I hope you quit smoking. Hey, everybody, we need to get 12 years old and fat. I keep calling you 12 years old and fat, but it's 12 years and fat. Let me tell you something, 12 years and fat. You need to quit that smoking stuff, but if you have one for me, because it's been a long time since I quit smoking cigarettes. And I do miss them, guys. It's one of the hardest things for me to ever quit. So please, don't start. Don't start. All right, right back into the market. Let's take a look at the SPY on the right-hand side, top right-hand side. Look at this. It's bouncing off that $400 area. We want to see this thing, and I told you guys right here, are we going to see it? Are we going to see it bounce? Are we going to see it hold? And sure enough, we are starting to see at least a little bit. It's doing its damnedest. And we're going to see maybe this thing holds out until after lunchtime, and then after lunchtime, this thing skyrockets to the north side. But that could be a very wild speculation with all this overhead resistance over it. Papa Powell talking, and not to mention on the 10th we have payroll, on the 14th CPI, and on the 22nd we have the FOMC meeting. Goodness gracious, watch out. This could be a crazy volatile mover. And as I speak, we're down to 410 cents. The SPY looking like it is heading lower now. I'm interested to see where RBLX sits because, yeah, you know, it's still actually holding up in those areas. It would make me nervous if I was still in this trade, actually. So I'm kind of glad that I'm out, but it's A-okay. So we got the SPY at 410 cents. We're going to see what this thing wants to do in this area. Well, TRKA is trying to make, trying to hold this bottom. It found a bid here at 52 cents, and it pushed up to 56 cents. But we're already starting to see some wicks off on the top. So please be careful with that. if you don't see something that I'm trying to watch, or vice versa, however it's said, put it up in chat, guys. If you want to see it, I'm okay with taking a look. Just go ahead and put it in chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. It's A-okay. Go ahead, let me know what you want to see in chat, and I will take a little peeky gander at it. But in the meantime, I'm going to run through my short low floats right here. Actually, not my low floats, my bigger cap stocks. So like First Solar, still heading up at those highs. DUOL, we're waiting for the 1021 to catch up to it. SPRT, this was a earnings gap up trade that we could have taken. I need to go on the hourly on this. This is crazy. INTA, another one that is held. RCEL, this could have been an earnings gap up play that we did not touch, but we're going to keep an eye on it because we missed it. OKTA, you guys, I know we were looking at that earlier. It's still pretty extended for me. AM. So I briefed on this in this morning because nobody was talking about AM. But yeah, AM at these highs. I marked out some of these liquidity levels for you, but it didn't look like it was following too much. So I didn't have much of a trade, and plus I can't short this. This speculative stock on think or swim. So looks like the SPY's at 418. We're trying to get these little pushes up off the bottom, but they are very weak pushes. We're not seeing too much volume come in right now, which is understandable because we're coming towards lunch, which usually slows down, but you can always find a trade. So whether it's lunch or whether it's not, you can always find a trade. Just be careful with what you're trading. PBF, still trading at those highs, trading in that area. OSUR, oh, you know what we need to look at is Snap. Oh, Snap. So Snap at those multi-monthly highs. We were talking about this maybe being a short, but if it traded sideways for so long that we would want to get out. So this is looking like it is trading sideways, trying to hold a bullish pennant right here. Wow, that's a very interesting area. If it can hold this out, guys, Snap is going to look strong here because it had this huge push and now it pulled back and it's trying to hold right here off of this high. It's trying to hold that. So it came back and it touched, it broke through, and then it got bought back up. And now it's using this as its support. So it's 12.16 going to hold, or let's just say an even $12. Is this $12 area going to hold for Snap and head on higher? I promise you this, if it does, with the overall market sitting where it's at, Snap might have a beautiful push to the north side. If the market wants to shape up and head on higher, I think that's definitely going to help with Snap. Now, if we look at Snap on the overall market, it is now trading above that 200-day moving average, okay? It is making new lower highs on the daily. On the hourly, let's take a look at it. It's also making new lower highs and a huge push up here, okay? So with all of that being said, if it can hold all of this gain that it's had while the overall market pulled back today, I would say that's very strong for Snap, and that's something that we're really going to want to keep an eye on. And that's why I put it up here on the indices, just because I want to make sure I'm going through with that as well. So I don't think it needs to be on the indices, but we definitely need to keep an eye on it. So, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Let's see what else we got going on. ARRY, yeah, I know. I don't even want to look at that thing. SERA. So I love SERA. I really like where this sits, and I need to put a nice little alert right there on top of that. I really like SERA. Matter of fact, I really like this as a long, using this 360 as a stop, because this is really coiled up really nice and it's squatting down on that 10-day moving average. I really like SERA, and I know I've said it multiple times, so do I want to take this stupid trade or not? That's always the question, guys. It's 11:33. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Good afternoon. It's good to see you, and I'm happy you are here. So let's make sure we got everything doing what it needs to be done, because if it's not doing what it needs to be done, it'll never get done. Somebody's got to do it. I do like SERA. I'm going to have to wait for the breakout on this just because it's so hard for you to buy here and then wake up to a short sale. I'd rather buy in on the morning, but it is squatting nicely on that 10-day moving average, and it has had activity following it before after a push. Look at that. It looks really good. All right, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a share size in this. We'll take 100 shares in this. Hopefully it's not to my demise, but I'm going to take 100 shares, risking this area of $3.63. So here I go. I'm going to try and join the bid here. Let's see what the bid is. We got about a 3 or 4 cent spread. So this might not get me into this trade, but we're going to put it up on here as if it were SERA. and we're going to see how this thing wants to play out. Now, WW right back up to my stop out area. So we're going to see if this thing wants to keep pushing higher. Very interesting because of this big soak. You guys know how I feel about soaks on the 15-minute. And you can see this thing had a big soak on that 15-minute, pushed right back up into that buy-in area. Is it going to stop me out here? That'd be very, very interesting. And that might be a reason why it's not a good idea to bring your stop down until you're absolutely sure. But I am absolutely sure, because if it pushed up through that and I was down money now after holding on to this thing for this long, then I would want to be out anyway. So this looks like a great spot for the actual short, guys. And why do I say that? What do I mean by that? Well, look here. I told you guys when I got into this trade right here at the top, because I was looking at it's yesterday's previous top, okay? Or not yesterday's, but it's daily previous top. It came up here and I got in short almost right away at 545 and it pushed up higher. I needed to wait for the backside. If I waited for this and then took this short here where it came up to retest, that would have been a lot better area to try and get in short. Rather than trying to get the short in on the front side, playing the backside would have been a lot smarter on this trade. So now, not wanting or willing to risk anything if it breaks out higher in my buyout area, what I want to do is get out if this thing breaks me out for break even. I will be a-okay with that rather than taking a loss. And I will say I should have taken, your stop should be where beginner shorts stop are. Let's see, your stop should be where beginner short stops are. So I believe it's right here then, right? Right at this 545 where the daily should be, right? So, okay. He retracted that. So stock, we flying, send it, boys. Ego, New Vision says EGO. I don't know if that's a ticker or you're saying I have an ego. I think we all have an ego, but I think Jiu-Jitsu's pretty much whooped the ego out of me. Amire says, I don't think TRKA is going up anymore, just going down. Yeah, I really have to, agree with you. You know, we talked about this big sell-off and then it coming back up into its supply and it keeps selling off. And then if you look on the 5-minute, every time this thing would, I think I just understood what you were saying, Mikey. Your entry should be where your beginner stops are. Absolutely. And this is where the beginner stops are. The beginner stops are right where I have my stop loss at now, and just like I was saying, like where I got in is where I should have got in after the retest right here, and then using this as my stop rather than getting it here, getting in right here and then guessing where the actual blow off top was going to be. So I really messed up on this trade, but here's the thing, it's working out in my favor and I've already learned from what is a winning trade right now. Okay, so we can learn from our winners, but we really learn from our losers. So before this thing really messes me up, thank you, Mikey, for coming in here and letting me know that my entry should be where the beginner stops are. So where the beginner stops are, well, in this, I wouldn't have known until after it's set up. So I should have waited a little longer to get in short where other stops would have been. So I wouldn't have known until now to actually get into this short, or maybe about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago would have been a better short than taking it right here when I seen it. So I'm learning from this trade and I hope you guys are too. TRKA is heading lower at 56 cents. Really trying to hold out here, but just fizzling out, not much buying volume coming in at these lows. So we're going to have to just wait and see what happens, but it looks like that was some blow-off, sell-off volume right there. We're going to see what TRK wants to hold out for the future. We're up to 200 views already today, guys. That is amazing. Guys, if you are here, if you are new, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm not sure what the subscriptions are up to, but I think we started off this morning at like 260 or something like that, 270. I don't really remember, but we are growing so stinking fast. And that is because our awesome community. Seriously, I could run through here. We got Amire, we got Ribera, we got Caesar, we got so many people in here, guys. We have so many. John Shields keeps showing back up. El Grande Smoke Yo. We got B Stewie. We got Jim Dickey. Goodness. Tashima. We got, just so many people. New Vision. And I'm sorry if I missed you guys, because we go over this crap every single day, and it's just So awesome to see the same people showing back up, showing their support, showing their love. So if you're new here, know it's because of this awesome community. We are swelling the number in the masses. So thank you for being here. It's all because of you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you love it, I love it. I want some more of it. Let's do this, baby. So we're going to see if Weight Watchers wants to give me the shorty short that I am in, because I'm burning to make some money, baby. Burning, burning, burning. TRKA is at 57 cents. Will this try and hold off, or will it sell off? We will see in the next episode. VRAX still trading sideways. This might be a nice little runner if it wants to hold for the rest of the day, as NVOS still trading up at those highs, at the wicks, at the pre-market highs in that 25 to 23 cent area it's being sold into. So we're going to see, does NVOS want to keep trading sideways and want to hold up on that area? Let's look at some new tickers, guys. We have COSM. And if you look, we've brought up COSM before when we've seen some ramp ups, and I also drew this liquidity area out. Now this is already here. I did not do this even in pre-market. I just pulled up this ticker because it popped up, and look what it's touching. It's touching 475, this area that I drew out for you. Who knows when, guys? I don't even know when I drew this out, but I drew this out to give an idea of what to look for. And look, it came right up and touched that area. There's reasons why we draw these lines, and that's why technical analysis works, guys. If you can learn technical analysis, it will save your ass from time to time, okay? It'll save you from getting out too early. It'll save you from sizing in too much, and it will save you by adding a stop loss in every time so you know where you are wrong. And when you're wrong, you don't have to be a loser. You can learn from that and keep on carrying on. So let's look at DHC. DHC is a multi-day runner now. It moves about 12.4% on the daily, okay? It moves that much, that fast. Now, if I pull the charts up back here and I just go ahead and mark the highest areas of liquidity, I would say that this is an area right where it's at. It's breaking through. And now, let's see where the next area is. It's too far back to even care about. So let me zoom in on this so I can get a better idea. So it looks like this was its highest. So see how this is an anomaly. You know, you can tell this is like insider trader trading or something crazy is going on right here, because you got 19 million volume shares traded, but only this big of a range on this wick. So now we go over here and we look, it's coming right back into that highest liquidity area that was sold. So what do you think is going to happen here, guys? I think we're going to see at least a little bit of something taking place. So if I just take the highs and the highest liquidity area and pull it across this, boom. This is our area, okay, of supply. Now, I'm not saying that this thing can't blow through this. It still possibly could. It still possibly could. But when I'm looking at the overall understanding of the market and how things move, I look at this and I pull its volume and I make its liquidity area to have a better understanding. So DHC, personally, this is looking like it's in a supply area. So you take that how it is. So FSTX just trading sideways, TDUP up on earnings, and then we mark this out on how we would play this earnings gap up. And as you can see, we are earning some money on this earnings gap up. I didn't take it because we missed the trade. If you guys remember when I pulled it up, we were right about here when I would have taken this trade. Sure, we'd be up money, but it would not be a good risk reward. And that's what it's all about, is risk management. UNCY looks like it pushed up even higher today. So this morning we looked and we created this area of $1.25, and I was saying if it can hold this area and push up higher, that would be a good thing. But this would be your risk, this $1.24. You can see it's like a flat bottom base. And when it pushed up, it broke through these highs and headed on higher. Now UNCY was on the watch list for a short. Where it pops up here, this would be a great short area, risking these highs of $1.57. If you were short, you got stopped out in this area and you did not take this trade again, because there's nothing overhead to tell us, hey, this is looking like a better short, except for this $3 area. So if we see UNCY want to keep on pushing higher, we got this $3 area up top and a customized alert to let us know when it gets there. So other than that, what I'm seeing right now, guys, is a dull area, a little gray space. Not the gray space that I draw, but the gray space that we don't know what to do with here. Why don't we know what to do? Because we don't have levels like we do down here. All right, now Weight Watchers pushing right back up to that area. It's just lingering around like a stinky fart in my buy-in area. Do I end this trade? Well, we'll see, because the stop loss is sitting right back up at its peak, because I don't want to get stopped out or where everybody else's stops are going to get hit. Now, we haven't looked at AI in a little while, so we will see where AI sits. Now, we talked about this morning about AI. We talked about this on the hourly. Let's take a little peeky gander here, guys. If we look at the hourly, I drew this level out for you to show you where the most liquidity was. And look what happened. Yesterday, it came up into this area in pre-market. It came up into this area and it touched 1, 2, blew through it on higher volume and then sold right off. Now, when it came back up and popped up into this area, look what we got, another big sell-off, guys. So this liquidity area that we showed you in pre-market, we can tell right here that it popped back up into and sold off. And I think I told you guys, you know, if AI does this, that this might be a good short for AI. Now, we are getting that. That's exactly what we're seeing. And now, is it going to catch? Is it going to find a catch area somewhere maybe in this 2550 or 2450 area? Or is it going to come all the way back and catch a bit on the 22? We don't know. But we know right now, it's heading lower. AI at 2592. Guys, we only got 15 minutes left. That's all I got here with you guys. And then I'm on my own, you're on your own, and we can part our ways until tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Hopefully, we don't get any stutter stepping in the stream, guys, because you know that just hurts me bad. It hurts me. It makes my day a lot harder when we get a stutter step in the stream, but I'm so pumped that we still made it up to 205 views. We still have all of our OGs in this chat and a few new ones. So if you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because I'm going to be right back here, baby, every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. So if you like it, if you love it, you want more of it, well, you know how to see me, baby. So it looks like Weight Watchers is now, I'm down 56 cents on that trade. Am I wishing I took half out at VWAP? Absolutely. Absolutely. But only time is going to tell for this, because this is where the stop outs are going to be for all your beginner shorts. They're going to get in short somewhere in this area, and then they're going to stop out in this area, and that's where my stop was. We moved it up because I wanted to keep my original stop and stay disciplined on this trade. So we're going to see what comes of Weight Watchers as it is trading a little higher than my average in at 547. Let's take a look at JSPR, now trading just below where I bought it in, and SERA got me in to the trade now, and we are 100 shares at 372. So let me mark out the 372. It's right where it's trading right now, and we're going to mark that green so we know exactly what goes on right there. And we know where the stop loss is going to be. It's either going to be the low of the day, which it looks like it has made its new low of the day right here. Okay, or we're going to trade, we're either going to stop out at that low of the day or once it breaks the 10-day moving average. I really like this moving average. I really like where I bought these shares up, and I really like my share size. So if this wants to get back down into this area, instead of playing a break out, we are going to play that break down and buying up and defending that 10-day moving average. So we'll see what comes of it. We're seeing some good looking wicks on the 5-minute. Let's see what they look like on the hourly. And let's see. Terry Rob, if you're listening to the chat right now, yeah, I need to get a new mic. I would love to get a new mic, but it needs to be for a decent price because I am a trader and I like the best trades that I can get. And that's my boy Terry. He's messaged me on Facebook Messenger. But yeah, Terry, if you're listening, brother, I do want to get a new mic, but I need to find like a used one that I can trust from somebody so that way we get even better audio quality, guys. We're always going to be doing things better on the stream. We're always going to be getting better with our trades, with the quality of visuals, with the mic, and we're always going to be doing it here every single day for you guys. We're going to show you that we want to get better, that we want to prove to you that we can be the best, absolute best commentary, live stream, and analysis for you guys. So if you want to see something, we only got about 15 minutes left. If you want to see it, let me bring it up on here for you. We'll bring up TRKA just for you, and look at TRKA right down there to that 51 cent area. It looks like TRKA really is flushing down. So be careful with this one, guys. If you want to use a risk of 50 cents, but I don't know, after this big beat down, it's going to be very, very hard for it to climb right back up. People are getting scared. It's going to be losing a lot of its momentum. But like D-Dab said, don't sleep on it, because this boy can climb a lot higher, especially with a short interest on TRKA of that 36.28% is what I'm still seeing for the short interest on it. So let's keep on keeping on. New Vision, a little crazy going down. Yeah, AI, absolutely. Absolutely. Lots of things pulling back. Can we get WW to pull back though? Goodness gracious, this thing's pushing higher. Now down $4.85, $5 on this thing. We don't want this thing to chirp higher. I want to see this thing lower so I can print some tasty tendies. Let's take a look at some of these other trades though to see what is happening. So SERA, we just jumped into that and we are down $5 on Weight Watchers. We're up 25 cents on that. Ford is trying to push up, trading at $12.87. You know we're short 100 shares short on that. We're up about 22 bucks on that. While ALGM sideways, CRUS sideways, CLMT sideways, and XM still trading sideways above my $17.20 buy-in area. So we're going to see what comes of these trades, guys. But right now, we're just going to sit back, relax, and see what we can do to make some money. So guys, we only have about 10 minutes left. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate your time. The hiccups this morning really sucked. We don't like hiccups in the stream, but we came back like a fiend on crack, and we are here to do it, baby. So GNS still trading sideways. Doesn't want to make up its mind on what it wants to do yet, but if it keeps trading sideways, it might find a formidable foe into challenging the baggers up top. So I want to take a look at Snap. Let's see how Snap's shaping up. Did it break down? It looks like it's still trying to figure out an area to do. Meta did have that nice breakout down today, but it's trying to hold this base right here of 184. And if it can hold that base, it's going to look really well for Meta. Let's look at how the overall SPY is shaping up though, guys. All right, so SPY is tagging that 400, that psychological area, that area of supply that I talked about before. Now, how is this going to shape up after that 400? Well, only time is going to tell. If we look on the 5-minute, we're seeing a lot of soaking anytime it gets up in this area. But with Powell talking, with payroll coming up, with the FOMC meeting, with CPI coming up, what is going to happen in this market? Personally, I think for this month, we're probably going to get some chop. So if you play off these levels and you stay out of the market when the CPI comes out, when Papa Powell is talking, all that good stuff, well, then I think you'll be A-okay. So just be careful, because look what happens when Papa Powell turned out his microphone. That microphone was on a sell switch, and he didn't even realize it. He turned on his microphone, it hit that sell switch, and just sold right off hard. So be careful when we're doing this, but I'm here to help keep you safe, guys. Why? Well, because I told you this morning at 10 o'clock. Also, Alex popped in to let us know, because that's our community. We have an awesome community. It looks like AZUL. We're going to take a look at that B Stewie right here on the left-hand side. And I need to say happy goodbye to Amire. Amire, thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Captain, cheers. All right, good to see you. Thank you so much, Amire. Thank you for stopping in, and I hope you made some money. And she said, if TRKA hits back to that 91 cents, promise to ship you a new mic. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, Amiri, whether that hits that 91 cents or not, I do hope that you make some money. TRKA is now at 46 cents, is what New Vision said. So let's look at TRKA after we look at AZUL. So let's bring this on the 5-minute, because AZUL looked like it had a beautiful little gap up here on earnings. So it gapped up in pre-market yesterday on earnings over 22%. We could have taken a 5-minute range play on this, but we did not. And let's see what is going on. It looks like it held this nice little base here in pre-market, and it looks like it traded above it this morning, came back, tested that at 582, and now is heading higher. So AZUL is looking like it wants to head higher. But remember, the overall look on this stock is only a gap up on earnings, and it's running right into overhead resistance. So it's got a lot of shaping up to do. Trading below this 200-day moving average, that is not looking good for the overall AZUL. So let's take a look at TRKA on this left-hand side. TRKA is now down to 45 cents. It looks like Captain, oh my Captain, is not getting a new microphone tomorrow. So that's A-okay, but I just want to make sure he, not she. Oh, Mireille, I am so sorry. I think the whole reason why, Amira, is the reason why I get that mixed up is because I kept thinking Rashiba also was a girl, and then she told me how to say your name, and now I call her she. Goodness, I need to get it out of my head. Good sir, Amire, good sir. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you're a he, not a she, and I am so sorry, because I've been calling you that for a while now. So, Amiri, I do apologize, but thank you for being an awesome sport, because I can already tell that you are awesome at taking criticism, because we were talking about that criticism on TRK earlier. We were talking about it a few other times, and you still stuck around. So thank you for not having an ego. Thank you for having a malleable ego so we can change. We can work with each other here, guys. That's what we do. We learn from each other. We have an awesome community here, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. So thank you very much. Let's take a look at Netflix on the right-hand side. We might as well just run through the indices before we take off here. So IWM still trading overall the best out of everything, as Netflix trading sideways now, bouncing off that $300 area that I pointed out to you earlier today. I told you if this thing wants to break that 310 area, we'll probably go down to that $300 area, and we came all the way down to that 306. I'm sorry, I didn't say 300. I said that 306 area because I have your trend line marked right here, guys, and look, it touched that trend line and now bounced off of it, and now it's trading sideways. Will this thing make a nice little trade here, trade sideways before heading higher? Only time will tell. But this is my line in the sand for Netflix, is this uptrend, because it needs to hold this. If it breaks down, then we're heading down to that 200-day moving average, and that might be a scary area to try and play. So, love you, Captain. See you tomorrow. Amira, you know I love you too, brother. You take care. You do whatever you do. Just do it safe with risk in mind. So thank you so much. TRKA, as new video pops in, saying 47 cents. Yes, sir. We got it up here on the left-hand side. TRKA is looking like it wants to head lower. Before I take off, I want to go through my trades really quick. So SERA, we're down about $1, but I like my buy-in area. Weight Watchers looking like I'm down about $4 in this trade, but we are going to wait this thing out to see what it really wants to do here. Maybe the shorts are piling in just like me, and they're waiting for their time to just get squeezed down out of here, and that might happen to me today. If it does, I will tell you about it tomorrow, as JSPR just trades barely above, just affording me enough for a creamer, guys. I got a creamer on JSPR. Not anymore. Now we're break even. But we got Ford. I'm shorting Ford. We're up about $25, $26 on Ford. While ALGM trades sideways. CRUS, LMT. Let's take a look at XM. XM, we're up about $10. So guys, we did A-OK today. I think we might be down a couple of bucks, but that's A-OK. You're going to have winners, you're going to have losers, but that's why I do it. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I'm showing you that trading is hard, guys, but we grow an ever-growing community. Why do we do that? Well, so that way you can bring up to me what you need to be seen, what the sights and sorrows are, so I can commentate on them, so I can take live trades in front of you, and so that you can see trading is hard. So guys, we only have a few more minutes. If you have anything that you want me to look up, let me know now, because I'm just going to be looking at what I want to look up, because I'm a greedy, I'm just kidding, I'm not, but I'm here for you guys, so let me know if you see anything. I'm only here for a few more minutes. So make sure, if you are still here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys, because that is how I use self-preservation. That's the truth. That is the truth. Come on, XM, you know I want to see you climb higher. What's with this big old red bar right here? You know, lots of crazy stuff going on. So TRK may be getting that bounce that it asked for. It is getting a nice little bounce in this 50-cent area, but every bounce we've seen so far has sold off pretty hard. So anything below this 50-cent area now is now going to be a no-go. Because, look at this, because this was our risk, it was support, right? Every time this came down back here, it bounced off this support. Now, if we move all the way to the right-hand side, it's below its support. Now I'm thinking anytime this comes up to this 50-cent area, it needs to be above that 50-cent area for me to want to look at TRKA to the north side. So if you are looking at TRKA to the north side, it's not looking good below this 50-cent area, okay? Not looking good at all for TRKA below 50 cents. So please know your risk. Know what's going on in the stock market. Know that you are in a very speculative penny stock that may not ever reach these highs again. Or it could very well trade sideways, make new higher lows, and then spit to the north side, squeezing all the juicy boxes right on out. No straws involved. Disgusting. So, guys, we're going to wrap things up here with 2 minutes left. Let me just go ahead and bring up a few honorable mentions. So I want to bring up Boyle here, guys, because we brought up Boyle a few other times ago, and I haven't looked at it since this morning, but we know we had a big gap down in Boyle, and I was looking at this area for a buy. Now, I was still skeptical about Boyle, and I still am, just because this huge area of volatility here just looked really, really crazy. So I'm glad to see it just trading sideways. This might shape up. So just before I leave here, guys, we are going to end on the note with TRKA. So TRKA right here at this 50-cent area. Is this going to head higher or is this going to head lower? We will find out on the next episode with LoFiTrader. Guys, I am Dave. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you all tuning in. Even though we had hiccups this morning, you still piled in here. What a great day. Thank you so much.